Welcome to episode 18 of Pinnacles here on Happyjacksrpg. My name is Jason. I am the guide for this game in as much as anyone can guide this group. I'm glad you're here. You can find all the previous episodes at happyjacks.org/pinnacles. And happyjacks.org/shows has anything and everything. Don't go there yet. Your brain will melt out your ears. Just ease into it, one thing at a time. Let's see. So, by way of content warning, we skew towards the boys' superhero content more so than like the Spider-Men
or Invincible.
I heard condom warning, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Too, so.
I love how we get a content warning for our show every time we kill someone.
Just saying.
It kind of. What are you
We
gonna do?
did do a kill. So
Yeah.
just be aware. We have a little bit of body horror. We also have some safety tools in place that we're all kind of on board with and prepared to use our X cards and all that stuff. So yeah, all of that is good. Let's go this way.
Hey, I'm Enge, and I play Chainsaw or Sentinel or many other names. I'm a biker brawler.
Boom. I'm Eli. I'm putting my character sheet into my notability, but I play Hector, who is a telepath who watched Chainsaw kill somebody.
My name's
From the
Sarah,
inside.
but you can call me Jason. And I play Caduceus or Kit, the biokinetic surgeon super who also just watched Chainsaw kill someone. But like, they've seen this before, so this song
Not the
there-
first time you've watched somebody die.
It's old hat by now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hi, I am Pooja, and if you call me Jason, I'll just be really confused. And I'm playing Sapna, also known as Silent Scream. And, you know, if you thought Sapna was kind of an asshole, wait until you meet their dimensional doppelganger.
Yeah.
You don't have to meet
Good
him
news. You don't have to meet that
Yeah, I was
guy
gonna say.
because he did. Travel to fun dimensions, they said. Meet interesting people, they said.
And kill them.
Kill them then.
And kill them.
Who said that? I mean, that last part is Brian.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Funny that you mentioned him. Sarah, do you have any recap?
Oh, no.
Well, now I don't. No, yes, of course. We were traversing through this multi-dimensional, well, not to them, this is just their homeworld, but to us it's a multi-dimension space station that was huge. It was a big old drum, and it had millions of people in it. And we had just decided as we reached the core.
You can't use the past tense on that. It's not our fault if they all died.
They didn't all die.
Most of them did not
We
die.
saved their lives.
No, like fewer than 10,000 people died.
Yeah.
Out of 40 million.
Hooray!
And
So-
none of them were our fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for this
one
one.
of them was kind of our fault.
One of them was directly your fault.
Listen,
In
that one was
fact.
good though.
Well, two of them are our fault.
What?
Because the guy that got his brain exploded, if he'd have talked to us, he kind of wouldn't have died.
Oh,
Forgot
well,
we
that's
exploded
but
someone's brain.
but you did not kill him.
Right, but we got him killed.
Yeah. Well,
Eh.
that's shifting of blame.
Yeah.
Blame the murderer.
All right. All right.
We're in the core where scintillation is. And as we're speaking of scintillation, and scintillation is making this world around us that is perceptible to our human eyes. Our wonderful new friend decides to see if he can go into scintillation's mind. And
Well, he detected a thought.
detected thought, yes,
Yeah.
and said, I want to poke at that.
Thought
and
detected.
was able to get in and say hi. And Scintillation said, Hector, what are you doing here? And he said, I don't know, I just decided to see if I could. And she said, okay, that's really cool, but please get out.
Yeah.
And after
Ectogama.
Never again without my permission.
Yes.
Ectogamet.
Yes. After further preparation, as Caduceus made Hector big-brained, Hector went for it again with Scintillation's permission in order to get some valuable information that we needed and try to find the location of Sapna's doppelganger, who is currently leading a rebellion and was called tech pro.
Yeah.
Tech bro.
P, with a P.
With a P.
Like
Probably the
professional.
only highly powered person in this universe that we know of currently, although other people have some low latent psychic abilities, and is using that superpower of his to fuck with the technology that basically makes up their entire world because they live on a space station. And so we went to overthrow that rebellion by doing some reconnaissance. We tracked down
Rebellion really puts it in this like
Yeah, that puts it in too positive of a
Justified
context. Yeah.
yeah.
No, they were shithead
this-
power seeking.
This attempted
Coup.
this
Attempted
attempted coup.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. Attempted coup. And we tracked down one of the lackeys who was tracking us and said, "Give us information."
A
And
tracky
we
lackey.
got information. We trackied that lackey. And we figured out...
Hector got a mech suit.
Hector got a mech suit.
Yeah,
Hector
right.
did get a mech suit.
Yeah.
Was that...
A hex suit?
I thought that was directly after we interrogated, but I could
No,
be...
it
No, it
was
was
before.
before.
right
No, it's like
before
when
we
you
went
hit the
to that city
streets.
area. Yeah.
The mech suit arrived.
And
Hell
Caduceus tried sci-fi food.
I did try sci-fi food. It was
Oh yeah,
delicious.
and I ate
vegan.
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Sarah,
Hot
personal
dog.
enjoyer of the Beyond Burger, was very excited about this. As long as you don't expect it to actually taste like meat, you'll be fine. Anyway, we figure out that there's all these underground tunnels that are no longer being used, the service tunnels that were used to build the station that are just no longer in service. And we think that could probably be a pretty good place, since Scintillation doesn't have eyes on those places, for a base of operations. We head that way. We meet up with another lackey who gives away the game because Sapna has been transformed to look like doppelganger Sapna. And he buys it hook, line, and sinker because Sapna also modulates their voice. Very cool. And then the actual one comes in, and Sapna negs him so effectively that he loses his temper and begins fighting him.
Yeah.
It was petty versus petty,
And you
and
just
the
won.
correct petty one.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The righteous
I
petty
did
one.
my best to channel my impression of Sapna.
It was so good. It was so good. He had a gigantic mech suit type thing that made him huge and terrifying, and started using it to try to fight us. But
It was made out of like mech arms.
yes, it was made out of like all these
Legs
different
and-
pieces that he had taken
But-
from
and
what the people.
to be more
had used
specific,
for.
cybernetic limbs. So like people limbs
Yes.
that have left their hosts. And yeah,
Pretty fucked up.
hundreds of them. Yeah.
Choked on my Red Bull for a second there.
No one saw.
No, it was so cool. And however, Sapna has cool sound powers, and so blasted him multiple times with it, while Hector did some little brain blasts, and then also Chainsaw
Colossus chainsaw.
became Colossus as Caduceus cast Make Big, and just punched the hell out of him.
We call it embiggen.
Embiggening.
Beginning.
Embiggening spell.
I mean, the Marvels, like
Exactly.
Marvels movie. It's very
Sorry,
timely.
quick aside. In Baldur's Gate 3, I misclicked and enlarged Gale one time. And I was like, I don't have a recent quick save, so
He deserves
Gale's big.
Make Gale big.
Guess this is what we're doing now.
Yep.
This was a very interesting fight because he very clearly had great armor and also some kind of regenerative ability, but that wasn't enough for Chainsaw's gin and
Chainsaw.
tonic middle-aged boarhead, correct?
Yeah, pretty close.
Yep.
Boar's head.
Yep.
Yep.
And with a good old death punch.
Did you have that written down or just off
no,
the dome?
I just
That
like
was-
the name.
Wow.
I know a lot of abilities. I'll get Hector's down. I don't know them yet, but most
This
of
is
them are up here.
telepathy.
Yeah.
You made it.
Telepathy.
It's been
Telepathy.
It's been long enough. This many episodes. Next time you have to come in with
Thought boss.
Funny
with
names.
a better name.
I'm gonna make it like real military-ish. So it's just like lame.
Some sort of like
Amazing.
acronym.
Yeah.
That's like
Super triangle.
just
Yeah.
terrible and boring.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
use NC-74.
And he died. The
Yeah.
end.
Hector died?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no.
totes the
No,
yeah.
Tech
Tech
Pro.
Pro
Oh, right.
sung the song of the angels and went straight to hell.
Yeah.
And that was due to the wonderful machinations of Chainsaw. And now we're going to see what happens when
Yeah.
a doppelganger dies. Part 2.
So, the Tech Pro collapses in this like cascading slide of like twisting, turning, just like half of this sports field is covered in cybernetic limbs of all
I
kinds.
would love to ride this man's death.
Me too.
Whoa.
Okay, cool. So there is that very clear, both of you have this experience in slightly different tones because like you're in the mind and you're in the like brain, right, is the distinction that I make there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there is that snap of static and then like a traveling.
Yeah.
Okay?
Kind of like sapience versus sentience, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for instance, Hector can get memories from a living brain,
Cool.
and Kit, or Caduceus, either, can get memories from dead brains.
Yeah.
So
I work on corpses.
that's fun.
That's a fun distinction.
Yeah.
Forever.
That's a die has hit the floor. Goodbye.
Yeah, the die's down.
We hardly knew the
Early escapee.
the blast of static is compelling, and I'm sure both of you want to follow it. I will need you to roll your Death Rider
That's
powers.
so fair.
I'm gonna spend all my will I just bought.
Did you actually spend some will?
I think I might.
Okay.
I spend 1 to reroll, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Natural 10s.
Hey, gain a willpower if you can.
I can. So I would lose.
You're
that's
not
3
at max
tens.
willpower, huh?
I'm not far because I had to spend a willpower right at the end of the
Oh,
session.
that's right. That's right.
I rerolled and got nothing still.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Also with willpower, you can add dice to your roll.
I'm not that invested.
Okay. All right. So the two of you hear this train leaving the station. Hector tries to grab on the side and just mentally falls to the platform. However, Caduceus, I keep forgetting that you're not Kit and haven't been Kit for some time.
I'm having an identity crisis.
You follow this wave, and it quickly becomes kind of depersonalized in the way that like DNA doesn't hold anyone's personality,
Sure.
right? And it just becomes this sort of generic data, for lack of a better term, and you feel it start to spread in I think is this is the first time you've been able to do this up close. Well, no, we killed the
So
2
the-
times Redux.
I heard, 2 times Redux. I did tune into that one. I was going
Okay.
to say I heard Citadel, but I don't think I tuned
Okay.
into it.
So the 2 times Redux situation, it like blasted out and just, like sound waves over distance, it just like went off into the sunset, right? In every direction possible, up, down, left, right. And it just faded away, right? But you did hear it happen and you have a, distinct idea of what that means. In this case, that starts to happen, and then there's this sort of gravitational pull off to your side. And you realize it is being drawn towards Sapna. And that is where it goes.
Amazing.
So it like accelerates, slams into its destination, and Sapna falls down.
Shit.
And I'm going to need everybody to declare an initiative, because I'll declare on 0 to let you know what's happening. all of the cybernetic limbs are trying to get you. They are writhing around on the field, climbing over each other, working together, trying to grab you and pull you down to the ground. Some of them are forming starfish shapes. Some of them are forming. Does everybody know what a koosh ball is?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Been
unfortunate.
so long.
A
Yeah.
koosh ball of arms and legs.
Wait, I like this.
It's like a little hard thing in the middle, and then it's got tendrils coming out all over the place. So it's a sphere of arms and legs hooked up in the middle.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So that's rolling around.
Oh, I love those things.
Yeah, I thought you might not know that one. That's a while back. But yeah, it is just a violent wave of just
Technology.
Yeah. It's also well, actually, I'm not going to reveal that yet. So, Chainsaw, what do you do? And you're also all aware that Sapna just collapsed because you're all standing around in the aftermath of this fight. And then there's like a 3 beat, and then Sapna just goes like someone cut their strings.
Right.
And everything else goes wild.
I'm going to move to Sapna, use my Aegis power to make a shield around us so that to protect.
Yeah?
I protect.
Yeah. Okay.
Hector's going to scan to see if there's any kind of latent thoughts controlling the push ball.
Okay. All right.
Love that. I also think when I saw the Pufum and Sapna fall, was there enough time for me to be like, oh, unconscious? Or is it just like
Yeah, I think at such an instinctual level, yeah, you know that they're unconscious.
okay. I don't know if it's wise to wake them up because I had to knock Chainsaw unconscious when this happened last time.
Oh, you know what? No. Unconscious is a different state from what you're reading. Neither are they conscious.
Ooh, okay. That's bad.
That's a whole new story. No.
Creepy.
It's a whole new flavor of not good. Well then, I see Chainsaw diving to make the Jesus, I can words today. Force field. And I dive behind that force field to kind of kneel by Sapna and try to tune in fully and figure out what's going on here so I can try to help.
Okay, so you're doing a
I'm
detecto
doing a
round.
scan. Yeah.
Sapna, you don't get to do shit right now. Sorry.
I get to sit here and cackle wildly
You
based on what
think about
Jason
what
and
you
I
did.
talked about yesterday.
It is also worth noting that there is a rising tone in the field that is hard to tell where it's coming from, but it is this screeching, electronic, like technical noise of like, when electronics is starting to fail, there's this almost hypersonic pitch that you get. It's similar to our dearly departed modem connect sound.
I was gonna say, is it like a modem?
Yeah. Or one of my favorite things to reference is when Neo touches the mirror. Yeah.
Oh, a modem connecting to the internet.
Yeah. So that.
Oh
But-
my god!
but just
I
the
literally
first
haven't
part-
heard that in decades.
That first like screamy part is just going. It's not getting to the click, 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 you know, that
Oh,
at
right.
the end. It's just going forever. Possibly like the digitized scream that you get from Neo when he touches the mirror and it starts to like cover him and then it goes down his throat. So just that noise is rising from an indistinct location. Like it's not coming from one location. Just the stadium is screaming. So
Why is that happening? Mystery.
I'm gonna try to get you.
We all rolling?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I'm just doing
Whoa.
excellently today.
Holy sh.
Okay.
It was only 5.
I have a 3 of a kind.
I have a
also
3 of
have
a
a 3
kind.
of a kind.
Okay.
I'd also
5.
5 of a kind.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to squish?
No.
Rude.
All right. You were shielding. What were you doing again?
My Aegis power shielding myself, Sapna, anybody else who wants to join us.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you set up a barrier, and quickly this dome forms. There's limbs everywhere, so you have to like stomp on the couple that are inside your dome. But there's very few inside here, and there's some they're like crawling up the dome surface, and but yeah, you've successfully barricaded a portion of the field.
Right. But I have to say, I rolled 4 natural 10s on 7 dice.
Oh my gosh!
Nice.
Yeah.
So take 3 willpower if you
All
can.
right. That's the guy. Like, how do we stop this thing?
Okay.
Actually, I go on 4.
4 of a kind.
Yeah.
Oh, because you have go first.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What are you trying to do?
Sense for thoughts.
Yeah. There aren't a lot of conscious thoughts happening right now. What did you roll?
3 8s.
3 8s. What was your 3 of a kind?
3 10s.
Okay, so we got to resolve that first.
I'd also like to spend a willpower to make a multi-action happen.
Okay.
Well, his would be resolved first because
It's
of
still
go
the go
first.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 4 of a kind. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it counts as 4 kinds. So yeah, 8s is high enough. So what you're getting is this like dual layer. There's a portion of Sapna's mind that is asleep, but it's not really registering like, deep restful sleep. It's just a portion of their mind is night-night, and a portion of the mind is thrashing around like a toddler on a sugar high.
Okay.
So that's what's happening. And there's not a lot of like conscious thought happening. There's like sleep and scream.
Do I
are the
feel
two
like
settings.
like in the Amazon how it's like the 2 rivers?
Or one might even say silent and scream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Amazon what?
You know how the rivers, how it changes over from river to river, is like
Yeah.
dark on one side and then brown on the other?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. So it's like that, like they're merging?
I think of it more like a layer cake, but there's 2 distinct layers, and one of them is silent and one of them is screaming.
Okay, that pun comes out. I'm sensing a silent screaming of the mind in Sapna.
Dark side of the I don't say that.
However, having that
But it goes into your brain and then.
I did it.
having that discernment, if you wanted to generate a multi-action, if you have another pair, you can spend a willpower and retroactively make a multi-action.
What would I do with the multi-act?
Well,
wait, I do have another pair.
if you have an idea of what you want to do with that information, I would let you spend multi-action, or you could just do it next turn.
I think he'll do it next turn because he's not that smart.
Okay. I mean, he's not a doofus. Either.
No, he's not, but he's kind of like shocked that his friend.
The shock and awe is
Right.
appropriate. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was on the 4 of a kind round. 3 of a kind, you get 3 10s?
Mhm.
Okay, and you took your willpowers.
Yes,
Okay.
and I also, so my multi-action is I'm going to actually use those 10s as defense as I hear the sound like ramping up, and I'd like to stay awake, and I'm worried that this is going to be like head damage. So you put those into defense, and then I'm going to put the 2 9s that I got, so that'll go on the 2 of a kind into this scan.
Okay, into the 2 of a kind round.
Yes.
Okay. So I have, did you have another set you're using, or you're just all in on the shielding?
All in on the shield.
Okay, so my 3 of a kind is 4s, and that is going to be, I'll just pick a target at random here. Caduceus.
Wow, that defense was lucky.
Yeah. So yeah, your defense is able to blow out these fours as
Okay.
you are. How do you defend yourself from this just swarm of this Katamari, this horrible Katamari ball?
Yeah.
And bored
Okay.
apes.
So it's the ball that's coming to go at me, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. How do I make this body horror?
Oops, too late.
I was about to
How do I
say.
make this more body horror? I think that as this terrifying thing comes towards, Caduceus just kind of senses it weirdly. It's got this cybernetic limb thing going on. He's put stuff in defense, and he puts an arm out, and the suit just like all coalesces into that arm because it's kind of venomy, and it just and envelops and slings a little bit.
Oh yeah, the super suit that Dr. Light made for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you fling that pile of limbs away.
With my extra skin.
You could have said second skin.
You look so proud.
Could have. But the better choice was made.
Yes.
Okay. How about pairs? We had.
Did we have another
you're-
3 of a kind?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So pair of tens. Somebody nines, eights.
9s.
Okay. I also have nines.
Hmm.
So
Nines.
let me just resolve mine real quick because we'll see. Oh, okay. So that is for Frank. That's gone. It can't do anything to you. Yeah. A wave crashes over your shield, and you have a little effort of like, oh no.
Gotta make them feel like they tried. you
Yeah.
know?
You're a pair of nines.
Yes, I'm looking over giving the MRI scan to the body to try to figure out what's going on physically.
So there is right, MRI scan. Okay, so this is a person in a shock state, right? Not like electricity, just like
Regular.
yeah, in plain old shock. Physically, the heart rate's elevated, the blood pressure, like it's a panic state, but they're unconscious, which is a weird thing for a body to have to deal with. Most people, when they're panicking, are awake to do something about
keeps
it.
them awake.
And
yeah.
when you become unconscious, you stop panicking. But why not both?
Aha.
So unconscious and panic state, which is not great.
Okay. Can I determine from this which would be better to resolve, the being unconscious or the being panicked?
Probably the panic, because next round there will be a chance of them taking damage from, moving in a, like the panic response will cause damage.
Okay. I'm gonna
Panic damage.
turn to Hector and relay what I just understood. You just relayed what you understood, and I just look up at you and I say, "All right, so are we gonna tag team this?
Let's do it.
And we're gonna do some shit next round."
Okay.
So,
I'm debating whether I trust you all. That's not what I was debating. I didn't finish the debate sentence. New sentence. I trust you all to be able to keep your table knowledge separate from your character knowledge.
sure.
Yeah. That's
Well, now that I know
goes without
that,
saying. Sapna. You experience a just like a kaleidoscope tearing of worlds. And it is like just fractured visions into what has to be alternate dimensions. And pretty soon you find yourself you're aware that you are not there physically, okay? But you find yourself in it looks like you're in the back of a semi truck, and it's not moving. It's just like, oh, this looks like a truck trailer, right? There's some boxes of stuff, and there is a map laid out on a stack of boxes. There is like an electric lamp that's on, and it looks like it's like magneted to the side of the truck, inside the truck, and this kind of shorter, stocky guy turns and looks back from the map as you appear in the truck, and Brian says, "I didn't think you'd find me so quickly. Well done."
Coming for you, you fucking bastard.
It's gonna be tricky doing it like that. You're almost dead.
Not the first time, won't be the last.
Who'd you kill?
I didn't kill anybody.
Sure. That's what we all tell ourselves. So, I'd like to declare the limbs are going to continue their swarm of attack.
Continue limbing.
Yes. And they have not been reduced, so they're actually going to up the amount of damage that they can do this round. So, we will see what happens. That's my declare.
I am going to continue protect.
Okay.
We'll go next to Sapna and Caduceus, and we'll Wonder Twin powers this bitch.
Okay.
Calming the mind, calming the body.
Yep.
Okay. So all of you are under the Aegis at this point. Okay. So that gives me...
Tech Pro?
Okay. And you're trying to...
So I'm under the Aegis right now, so I don't necessarily need to spend points on defense, or...
Yeah, I mean, unless the Aegis came down, but how would that even happen?
I'm gonna do it! Yeah, I'm focusing on using my powers to shut down the physical symptoms of panic. So,
Okay. Great. Let's roll some dice.
switch. Okay.
Oh, I rolled that wrong. These turned into wiggle dice. Let's roll that appropriately. Yeah. That's what happens if they don't take damage.
This is weird. I'm gonna use a willpower to roll again, not because I didn't get matches, because I got matches, but because the width of one match is so much that it is better for me to re-roll spending willpower than to spend the willpower that this match would give me. I have a 4 of a kind.
Oh, you don't want to spend the 4.
I cannot spend 4 willpower.
Can't you, though?
Here, you can have some of mine.
How much do you have?
12.
It's up to you.
Worse next time.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna go for it. Because if I get a 3 of a kind next time, then I'll spend the same amount for a better result, since I'm not gonna use that match. Just 3s. 4 3s.
That is sad.
I got 10s, but like I'd still have to spend the 4 3s. Which is gross.
Oh, actually, I'll go ahead and tell you too before you die. Decide before you die. Both of you need 4s or better to be able to affect what's happening with 7.
Yeah.
So you would have needed to re-roll anyway if that
I had
helps.
10s.
Yeah.
I had 10s.
Oh, okay.
But
you would have had to pay for
I would have had to pay.
yeah.
So now I have 3 of a kind of a better roll.
Yeah,
So
okay,
I'm
great.
still spending the same amount, just
Great.
you know.
I also have 3 of a kind.
Okay.
I have 4 of a kind.
Oh, no.
But
Okay.
it's only 3 of a kind.
Yeah, that's fine. That's how Go First works.
I have 5 of a kind.
Oh, gross. Okay. But that's to maintain Aegis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you do it.
I did spend some squishies and stuff, so.
Yeah. And then 4 of a kind.
Was 6s, 3 of them.
Yeah, okay.
You and the number of the beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing it.
And so you're trying to
Calm.
quiet the mental panic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That's great. That is successful.
I have 3 8s.
3 8s. Okay, I have 3 10s.
Shit.
So this has to happen first.
Sure.
Which is, you got 5?
5 for Aegis.
Enge?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So this is enough. I can't actually do any damage this round, but I start to drill through the Aegis, and it cracks, and this, like, the limbs all, like, flump to the ground and start, like, swarming in more, and it's going to be a round before I'm going to let you cast Aegis again.
Oh no, flumps.
Yeah. They just, they have cracked through, and that power is on cooldown. So how did you get Brian
Aegis
back?
has go first too. So I guess that would be 6.
What makes you think that I would tell you shit? What part of our interactions makes you think that I would tell you a goddamn thing?
All right, just hold on a second. And he turns around and opens one of these cardboard boxes and gets this, like, it's kind of like the proton thing that the Ghostbusters have, a little bit smaller. Turns around and it doesn't, like, blast you, but it's like, it creates this, like, scanner thing, and he's, like, painting it over you, like, all right, just give me another sit, and then you're gone. So the Sapna, you wake up in the field of a lot of stuff going wrong, and you know you're doing it, but kind of like when your eye is twitching and you can't stop it, right? It feels like that, except macro. There's also about 10,000 voices screaming in your head. Not screaming, just talking and, existing. Just a lot of stuff all at once. And so you'll be able to declare an action, but you're at deep discounts on your dice pools. So we'll see how that goes. And the minus will depend on what you want to do. I mean, I'll tell you, like, if you're deciding between 2 things, I'll tell you what the minus is. But yeah, we will cover that when we get there. Okay, so you all can tell that, Sapna's eyes open, and I imagine you sit up at least.
Do I get any kind of like special registration since I'm already in her mind or in their mind?
Special registration, what do you mean?
Like with the voices?
You're actually not hearing them. Hold on.
Like,
Let me think about this.
is it their mind is registering that it's on overload?
Yes, you are. It is like you have worked with young telepaths probably in training and help them you're hearing everybody in the building right now. Just be quiet. But you're pretty far away from other people. Like, this would be a good space to train telepaths. Like, there's enough distance to the nearby buildings and whatever. Like, they shouldn't be experiencing that if it's telepathy. But their brain is registering that, the kind of overlap. What's the word I want? Overload that a telepath would experience. But there aren't a bunch of telepathic signals that you can detect.
But he knows what Tech Bro did.
Well, what do you mean?
How you can control machine?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give him like a round or 2 to put math together.
I mean, you can decide. That's whatever you want to connect the dots on is fine. The only thing y'all don't know is that they had a conversation with Brian.
Right. He doesn't know who E. Brian is, so there's that.
Yeah. The real kicker is whether you two interfering cut that conversation short or not. Don't know.
That sucks, I guess.
I don't feel like that sucks. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you are trying to quiet their mind, or what's your action? Oh, actually, hold on. We have to get Chainsaw's action first.
Oh. I'm gonna grab a
Chainsaw, you're
Coke Zero.
there any Mountain Dews?
Mountain Dews. I want hopped up a Mountain Dew.
Are they coming out of a Mountain Dew cannon?
The one good part of the Transformers movie. What are you doing?
I was waiting for you to say what the one good part of the Transformers movie was.
Oh, the Mountain Dew vending machine that comes to life and starts firing off like...
I mean, the steering wheel was pretty cool too.
Yeah, the steering wheel spider. Yeah.
I realized when I was rewatching it that it wasn't so much that it exploded out of the vending machine, but the vending machine was in a cage.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But when you're watching a 13-second clip, it can...
Yeah.
How about, can I use my aura having fun to run in a circle, just smashing through any of the limbs?
Yeah,
Hell
that would
yeah.
definitely have an effect. Okay, so you're going to have a charge attack.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Hector?
He is gonna shield Sapna physically, and then try to
You mean like with his body?
literally.
Yeah, okay.
With his mech suit body.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Mech suit body.
Yeah.
That is a machine. Okay.
Okay. And then he's also going to try and I don't know if I don't know if compress is the right word, but like try to get it so when Sapna hears the voices, it's more of a unified thing that's able to be understood.
Okay. All right. Oh, actually, I need both of you to make stability checks for me.
So much sense.
This is not something bad that's going to happen to you. It's like a speed run psychic perception check,
Sure.
because this can apply to your declared action.
Okay.
You just need force.
Nice.
Good, I got 2 4s.
2 force? Okay. Okay. So this is because the two of you specifically worked on this problem. Sapna is experiencing kind of what you thought would happen if Hector went into scintillation without the reinforced brain matter. And that's kind of what seems like it's happening right now.
Okay.
So I think Hector's going to keep his original action.
Yeah. Physically shield and try to calm their
Like
mind.
mitigate the
Yeah. Okay.
overload.
So, that's probably unrelated information, Caduceus, but what do you want to do?
Everybody gets big today. Everybody gets to turn on the big machine. Yeah, I'm going to
twice.
2 different kinds of big. Yeah, I'm going to take my learnings from expanding Hector's mind earlier and apply them to Sapna. They're going to have to grow a little bit so that their head doesn't explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, do
So
that.
on this, I think I required 6s
Yes.
for him. So for
feel like-
them, I'm going to have you just need 5s because you've done it before.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So,
And not a telepath brain, which is
Right.
nice. Yeah.
um,
I feel like that's wild.
yeah, it's also worth noting. I can't remember if I told you this last time, but like since you're now in
Sure.
messing with their brain, Sapna is well and truly a 9
Amazing.
at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
That makes a lot of sense.
okay. So,
Now, this is my getting ahead power, correct?
yes.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, I need one more.
I just need 5s. No biggie.
5s? It's not like
No
I
big
don't
whoop.
have dice.
Can I
And
borrow a D10 from you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sapna, what would you like to try to do? And
That wasn't laying on one.
I'll also offer, Sapna, if you want, like one thing that you might not have thought of as an action is like a dedicated stability roll to try to do this.
So let's talk about what I can do in terms of like, or what I'm hearing right now, because I'm still hearing, like, I'm hearing
Oh, yeah, yeah.
all
Let me
the
describe a
voices,
little bit.
the
So yeah, you're hearing voices that are like the tiniest little bit digitized. Like it sounds like you're talking on the phone versus you've had Hector in your head before, right? You've done telepathic communication. It's very clean and smooth. This is a little bit rough, right? It just has a different texture. It's not doing damage to you. It's just a different texture. So it's not the telepathic channel, right? This is the best way I can describe it. And you have thousands of voices in your mind. So it's really hard to tell what's what. You can't tell who is or what is talking to you. It's just overload, right? And you find yourself, sitting on the field. The Aegis shield went down. There is just this field of limbs that are coming at you. And that's where you find yourself.
And the universe is no longer fragmented.
Correct. Yeah, you are just you're back in the sports stadium, and there's that chunk of the stadium that's opened where the Tech Pro came out, so they could open it for sea battles. And so there's like a little gap at the 50-yard line. There's, but you all are at one end of the field and, battling this huge swarm of limbs. So yeah, what do you want to do?
I kind of have sat up, and I'm going to like throw back to when my distortion power got like super amplified all of a sudden, unknown, and it's like put my head down, put my hands over my ears, and just shut up.
Okay.
Is what I'm trying to say, and then push out and try to just stop it. Just stop.
Okay, so you actually are attempting a stability roll.
Mm-hmm.
You're at -4. But if you want to spend willpower to buy dice back into the pool, that's fine. You're just starting at -4.
Well, I still have 5 dice, so
okay.
I'm cool with this.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right, I think we all know what to do. Let's roll some dice. Oh, and also I get more wiggle dice this time.
Oh, hey, and I get a willpower. Nice. So close to getting a willpower.
Oh, you're all gonna be mad at me.
I have not been close to willpower at all this rolling session.
I also get some willpower back.
No.
No, I don't. I just got some 10s.
Rude.
Anyone else on the 6 of a kind round?
Your dice are so mean.
I'll kill you.
No, I want to reiterate that every round that this swarm doesn't take damage, they get worse, right? And that's the product of what's happening right now.
Okay.
So they've gotten...
I'm about to do some damage.
They got ramped up twice, and
Cool.
so that's why we're at where we're at.
Well, I'm not 6 of a kind.
Um,
One might say I'm 2 of a kind.
Okay. Oh, what are you on?
3 of a kind.
3 of a
tens.
kind.
4 of a kind.
4 of a kind.
I made my stability roll, and I got a pair of 10s.
Okay, it's a pair. All right, so I'm gonna go first with my 6 of a kind. They're actually 6 10s as well, so it was just like rude.
Jesus, ouch.
So rude.
So they are going to come in. I'm just gonna do it as. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do it as an area attack. I'm gonna just hit everybody. With 6 dice. All right. So this will be mitigated by your armor, but let me roll this out. Oh, interesting. Okay, so some of these aren't going to do anything. 8 is torso, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think that's the only one that's going to get through. You have to take 2 shock and 2 killing to your torso. There's a bunch of it, like all of your limbs are being... Oh, sorry. The 3 of these are torso. So you... Oh, but your armor... Yeah, you take 2 shock and 2 killing to your torso.
All right.
And your limbs, they're like grabbing at you, and you're just like flinging them off, and oh yeah, you're doing this. But they are, a bunch of them are like latching onto you and like making grabs at you and like scraping your, like your shirt is very sexily ripped. So,
Just the right amount of chest hair.
yeah, exactly. Whatever the right amount for the viewer is.
That's right.
Changes depending on who's viewing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hector. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay.
Hector also has that mech armor on. I don't know if that's any kind
Oh,
of...
yeah. I have to mitigate this a little bit.
Yeah.
The best decision.
Yeah. I'm so squishy.
Okay, so I'm going to mitigate one of these, but rip off your helmet.
Okay.
Okay, so your head is exposed. Are 1 and 2 the same leg?
No. One
Okay.
is left and 2 is right.
Okay, so your leg armors are damaged but not removed.
Okay.
All right, so that's you don't really have to worry about that.
Okay.
But then the middle, you're supposed to take 3 shock and 3. So your armor is going to be 2 shock and 2 killing to your chest also. So you're just like chainsaw. Yes, this is the getting handsy attack chat. Thank you.
I have light armor.
Sure. These have a lot of piercing on them.
No. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Is 7 still torso?
7's torso.
Oh no.
Why you know?
Okay, so a shock to your 2 and 4.
Okay. Shock to 2, shock to...
And 4 shock and 4 killing.
Oh.
Hold on. This is hold on. I haven't mitigated for your armor yet. It's light armor.
I think so.
Okay, so all the killing gets through. So it's 1 shock and 3 killing.
I can handle
But you are seriously ripped up.
Ouch.
Like, yeah,
It's not sexy for me.
yeah, it's bad.
I've got a small intestine.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Just the right amount of small intestine.
Yeah. Okay, and Sapna, you also get to play.
Does Hector protecting her mitigate any of that? Put it on Hector?
Them, yeah, they'll.
yeah.
I will count that as an armor effect.
Cool. It's helpful.
I am gonna put that 1 shock and killing to your head.
Ow!
So 1 shock and 1 killing to your head.
And that's so that's a mitigating. Also, I have 2 light armor.
Yeah, but I don't think you have a helmet per se.
I mean, I have a thing that comes up and
Sure.
Ow.
Okay. Then just take the killing.
okay, so 1 killing or 2 killing.
One killing.
I guess I'll just take the killing.
Yeah. Good thing I had that armor to protect me.
Yeah.
Dying. Only
Um,
take the killing.
the torsos.
Makes a difference.
Okay, so that is your. What's your 3? What's the 3 location?
Left arm.
Okay, so that's a shock and killing. Oh, but minus the shock, so killing to your left arm. As this
Sapna's
just,
left arm is like,
it's been through some shit.
yeah, like as like this rips more of the of like their suit and their clothes off. Like, wait, that didn't come out quite
Well-
the way I meant it, but whatever, we're going with it.
Clothes just go flying off. It's too
you
late, I've
can
already
see
seen
that
everything.
They're like massive, like deep, like bruise doesn't quite cover it. It's like hematoma style.
Yeah, just
going, and then like open wounds and whatever.
Yeah.
Because somebody's been through some shit.
is the
on
left
their
arm
left
filled
arm.
up?
Not quite.
Okay, all right.
I have one box.
Okay.
I
Uh,
only have shock in them if that helps.
we'll get there.
Cool.
Okay, so that was the 6 of a kind round.
So I have a question.
Yeah,
Did Spidey sense work on that or no?
no,
Okay, that's what I thought.
sorry.
No, I makes sense.
Yeah. Because we had established before that it
Yeah.
wouldn't work on robots, and
Yeah.
this unfortunately can't.
Okay.
So, at least for now, it does.
Mhm.
Oh, wait.
So that was 6 of a kind. Who's next? 4
I
of a
had
kind?
4.
Is that it? Okay. 4 what?
Was to mitigate the noise in Sapna's head.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What was the 4 of a kind?
It was 4, 3, 7s. Because I got to go first.
Oh, so it's 3 sevens on the 4 of a kind
Yeah.
round. Got it. Okay. Sevens are fine. That is doable. Sapna, let's make a new stability check at only -2.
Okay. But I have these nice little.
Maybe you
I
just
have
roll
these
an
tens.
extra.
Well, no, that's fine. You
dice.
can save
Yeah.
those. That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
fine. But yeah, this is
Add
just
some
an
poison.
immediate reroll.
Ooh, I like that ring.
Okay, well, this time it was 3 10s
Okay.
and 2 8s. So, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So you're now permanently only at -2. All right. So the next time you have to make a stability check is only going to be at -2 because he created like a temporary boost, and now that is you've recovered up to -2.
Great.
Does that make sense? Okay. That was 4 of a kind. 3s of a kind.
Yo,
Okay. What do you got?
3 8s.
What do you got?
I don't have 3 of a kind.
Oh, I thought you were putting your hand up.
That's just me going, yay!
So, did this stability roll was a new roll for the stability check that I was making for the round, or separate?
No, it was a bonus roll.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, bonus roll. So keep the roll that we're also going to check, and we'll check that in a second.
Thank you, guys, for loving me.
So 3 8s to do your run around.
Yeah, I'm spinning around just trying to like smash into any of these things with
Sure.
my shield, or
Yeah.
stomp them into the ground.
Yeah, that's
basically
great.
creating another force field.
Yeah, no, you go slamming through these. Just the presence of you going so fast. The field is just spraying out in every direction from the force of you running as you're digging down into the turf and all that. Yeah, limbs just go flying everywhere. And there's a few left kind of in the area that you're trying to protect just because it's a swarm, but the danger is massively reduced. So that's good.
Sweet. That's right. The Space Marine can pick it the rest up.
Okay, so that was 3 of a kind. Pairs. Tens, what'd you have?
9s.
9s. Okay, so 10s, your stability check, you just had a pair. Okay, so now you're up at -1 stability. And when you get to -0 stability, you can stop. Okay? All right.
I would like to just interject a bit of flavor here that like Sapna wants to scream like stop it, stop. Please just stop. And what you hear is just the modem sound
Coming out of their mouth?
coming out of
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
baby.
I don't hate it. I love it. But I love to hate it.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
okay. 9s?
That doesn't
Yes,
sound good.
9s. Clutching my midsection, I just like have my hand on Sapna, fully focused on this with 9s.
Oh, great. Okay, so this is a bonus stability check.
fantastic.
This-
So I'm
this might be it.
-1 for
Yes.
I think for the casters, this game.
Just a little -1, no biggie. I actually hadn't accounted for like it was. I didn't think about the fact that the telepath would also be able to help in this recovery when I was designing this.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
yeah,
team.
it was a good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
And this one is a pair of 6s.
Yeah. You are fully recovered. So
For those of you keeping track at home, also a pair of 3s because my dice are like that.
I want to coin a phrase I've been working on. I don't think anyone's really used it. How do you want to do this?
Whoa, poetic.
Right?
So I think like using that same kind of just shut down like cone of silence technique, but it is a completely different set of muscles that they are flexing,
Yeah.
and it is be almost like they're sitting up but like crouched down, head down, like earthquake
Oh, yeah.
earthquake drill
Yes, I am
position.
very familiar with this.
And that modem scream that they are making like transforms itself back into words. And like, can I? This is the
Yeah.
the full thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That, like in a ring out from them, the arms just start dropping.
It was a true arms race.
I like to think it's like rings of a tree, where like first the closest ones, then the next one out, then the next one out.
Yeah,
just, like,
I mean, it is
slowly.
like when you drop a stone into water and you
Mhm.
get that ripple out.
Yeah, love that.
Just to get the visual, what's everyone's damage report right now? Oh, I'm sorry, Enge, are we boring you?
I think Chainsaw's pretty jacked up, right?
Left leg has 3 shock and 1 killing. Torso has 4 shock and 2 killing.
Okay.
2 shock, 2 killing
Where?
in the chest.
Yeah, okay.
I've got 2 shock in my right arm, 3 shock in my left arm, a shock in my right leg, and 4 killing and 2 shock in my torso.
Oh, yeah, I think there's only 8 boxes in the torso, right? Like,
That's true.
yeah.
Wait, no,
Is it 10?
10.
10, okay. And Sapna?
My left arm is 2 shock and 2 killing. My head is 2 killing, and then just 1 shock to my torso and my right arm.
Okay. So it's also worth noting, actually I hadn't thought about this until right now. Sapna, as you think to yourself like, oh, okay, what's happening? 10 fingers, 10 toes, like just checking yourself over. You have the reverse of an out-of-body experience. You see your like an outline of your body in front of you, and like little indicators of like broken bone, twisted ligament, all these little things out in front of you. And you also know that there are 47 limbs nearby that would be a perfect match for you. Just a side note.
I'm gonna wait to do anything until whatever is happening here with dice happens.
I don't know why I didn't think of this until right now.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
I got some 7s on that one, so it's
What was
fine.
that? What'd you do?
I rolled a stability
Oh,
roll,
okay.
To, see if the new power tried to replace my left arm
Sure.
Makes sense.
with all 47 of the new ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
All of them.
just one would be fine. There's several that would do.
I mean, but that would be conscious thought versus
Oh, right. Yeah.
47 matches. Initiating.
Select all.
Why not install all the updates?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Hector and Caduceus are over Sapna still currently, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And as you come to and get a little bit more of your mind, Caduceus kind of sees that clarity return to your eyes and says, "What are you feeling?"
Fucking migraine.
For your whole body.
Yes. You know how when you have a gapsha machine, when you put the thing, it spins around some before before it gives you your little capsule.
Sure.
It's I'm all the little balls inside of the tumbler.
Is anything immediately hurting? Is anything...
And I give you the exact readout that I can read off of my
Mm.
well, my left tibia is fractured. I have what
Um,
looks like 4 hematomas in my
There are
upper.
several devices nearby that would allow you to project that for everyone, if you want.
Yes.
Okay. So several of the arms nearby all flip to be the right way up, and the forearms flip open for the little holo projectors that are inside. And there's 3 images of Sapna coming from dismembered cybernetic arms that have a readout of their physical ailments.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to heal your most damaged arm.
Okay, so you have how much in that arm? 6 damage?
No, it's 2 shock, 2 killing on the left.
So 4? Okay, so you just need 4s.
Oh yeah. I've got 10s.
How many?
Just 2.
Okay, so all the shock is gone, and 1 of the killing.
What?
What's also fun about this is you can see because Sapna is because their sleeve has basically just shreds.
Yeah.
You can see the where the compound fracture was straighten out, and you can see the worst of the bruising go through that healing process
Yeah.
from
Fast.
to that weird sickly yellow color and all of that. So great. Just a bird's eye view.
Yeah. I mean, what I feel like it's weird for Caduceus because he always sees this and is like, oh god, other people aren't used to this. No.
Yep.
Hector's intrigued because he's only ever seen it the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah, I think I glanced to make sure you're okay, and then there's this moment of duh, no, you're fine.
Mhm.
And then
What?
Oh, I also realized last time that your mech suit, how we mentioned the little space pod was if Apple made a space pod, this mech suit has to be if Apple
yes,
became the Warhammer Space Marines.
reinforced porcelain,
yeah, yeah.
absolute clear
Brushed
white.
aluminum, the
So good.
pearl white
Mhm.
plastic accents.
Useless titanium ring
Yeah.
that overheats my mech. Damn it.
Yep.
Hector, can you help them up and let's figure out what we're gonna do about? And I gesture towards the body in the middle of the field.
What are when all that kind of occurred? Hector was in Sapna's brain. So what happened?
Which part?
The whole thing.
The
The answer is yes.
Okay. So, what you got was that the internal monologue that you get from that you also went through for your training of no, quiet, shut up, but partitioning your brain, organizing it, making sure everything's working the way it's supposed to be, and your thoughts are quiet, and you're shutting out everybody else's thoughts, so you're not just eavesdropping all the time. Because also that would be noisy and confusing. You watch their brain go through that process in a very short amount of time, which is probably traumatic, but that's what we're talking about.
Did the two streams stay separate?
No, they merged into one signal.
Okay. He'll stand up and offer his hand to Sapna.
Latches onto it
Mech.
Yeah.
Just normal human person. Just...
the way I think about this is definitely I latch on to what ends up being the equivalent of a finger.
Yeah,
the size difference.
The glove of
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes,
I would think that Sapna would register a face on Hector that she's never seen before because he's conflicted about there's a difference between the people that he works with, a different kind of care for the people that he had. They were his teammates and his brothers, but somebody who's a civilian that isn't necessarily always putting themselves in that predicament. He's kind of a little overwhelmed, but he's definitely self-regulating it.
Okay. Love that insight.
Chainsaw, you want to give me a hand up here?
Yeah.
Head just killing it today. I think Sapna has enough hand.
Good.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yes. What am I helping you with?
Standing.
Oh. I
I'm
got
just
you.
gonna take your shoulder and all right.
Okay. All right. Well,
We've got a
we-
body.
Yeah. Do we call
Scintillation.
Scintillation.
Yeah. Where's one of those?
Flurbies.
Loombas.
Floombas.
Isn't one of the earpieces somewhere around here?
Shit. Yeah. Scintillation.
So you get scintillation in your ear, and she says, "Yeah, a number of my systems that were masked just came back online. How's everything?
Handled.
And what happened with Singh?
We have a body.
Okay.
2 bodies, actually.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it seems necessary. I would love to get the whole story from you if you wouldn't mind."
Yeah, should we regroup somewhere else, maybe?
Yes, there are. I can now meet with you in any of the buildings. Several buildings nearby have meeting centers, and I can
Can we get
patch
to a
into
hospital?
those.
Yeah, you got a med bay anywhere?
Oh,
nearby?
yes, of course. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I can't see you. So, yes, so please follow these directions, and they will be expecting you, and you'll be able to get any of the help that you need. I can't thank you enough for everything you did here. So, Sapna, as we're getting, like you're hearing this conversation happening, et cetera, you blink and find yourself floating in space,
Oh, no.
unable to breathe, freezing cold, eyes starting to crystallize, the blood vessels in your arms, and then you're back in the stadium with none of that injury.
Caduceus definitely registers that suddenly Sapna's heart rate spikes.
Yeah, and also something never left for you three.
Okay.
All right.
And like that hyperventilating breathing starts.
Whoa. Hey.
He had to have something to make this not like this. He had to be using something.
Okay. All right. We're gonna figure out what that is.
And like, struggle my way over to the body.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm also gonna head that way, and I know I've already death-ridden, but I would like to do it again.
Do you want to try to read his memories? Is that because Death Rider moment is over?
Damn it.
But you can use. I think we used Death Rider to read
To access a
memories
memory.
last time, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
yeah. What?
Well, Sapna just said, and is obviously struggling, that he had to have had something to help him with this, and I want to try to see if there's a memory where he either mastered this or found something to help.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Oh wait. Those are ones. I hate D100s. 2 6s.
Okay.
Just do this. Because these are all regular.
That's lovely. Thank you.
Like, I know that pain, and it sucks. I was like, oh, 3 10s!
You find that you find the Tech Pro. You sort of move all this arms and legs and stuff out of the way, and he's there, kind of in this bed of electronics, just in state, and sorry, what was the roll again?
6s.
That's fine. Yeah, you delve in and you find, you're aiming at this particular memory, and as you wander down the halls of these memories, you can feel the structure coming down around you. Right? Like all of this is
Mm-hmm.
he's dying and the brain is deteriorating. Now, there's plenty left for you to do here,
Yeah,
but it's just maybe a sensation we didn't describe before.
sure.
And it's just, you can feel that process happening.
Mm-hmm.
And however, you slide back and find, these memories of him trying to like control his power and realizing that he can direct it through certain types of circuits that he then embedded in the backs of these like fingerless gloves that he's wearing. So they could be moved somewhere else, but it seems like they were. He did the like X-Men like stick his hands out to like direct his power, which you all being experienced superheroes know that like most people don't really
Doesn't
need to
really
do
matter,
that.
Yeah.
But he has a pair of fingerless gloves that he used to focus his abilities.
No respect for the dead. I rip those off.
Chop his hands off.
Chop
Oh,
his
what?
hands yeah, I just rip them off. I hand one to Sapna, and I just like immediately start putting the other one on. Just like I'm in fix this problem mode. So yeah.
Sapna?
When you hand the first glove to them, it's like I try to start putting it on, but then you grab my other hand to put the glove
It's
on.
not helpful.
And so it's, but like, rather than, it's like moment of confusion, but then just like their shoulders start like drop,
Mm-hmm.
and they just go quiet and let you put
Yeah.
the gloves on them like a little toddler.
It's very sweet.
Like a little
Regency
child.
moment.
Thank you.
Yes.
Could I have my mittens, please? Yeah, so these gloves slide on and you like it's a whole other like you didn't realize the level of background noise that was still in your head because you had just gotten to the point of like, okay, I'm conscious, I don't know what to do, but I am in control, but you weren't, right? And the gloves go on and you can feel like they get hot for a second and then but you instinctively know like, oh, okay, I know how to redirect that, right? And you can start moving these signals around is how I'll describe them. And it like takes the center of balance out of your brain and into these devices that lets you direct it with more control. So you are much more yourself, plus, some basic like trauma and horrible circumstances.
Huge.
Yeah.
Is that better? Yeah, that's a lot better. Thank you. Before y'all need to know. So Talia needs to know. When I was. Yeah, we're not gonna think about that too much, but I saw Ebrand,
What?
and Ebrand saw me. And I don't think he knows where we are, but I don't think he knows where we are. But also, Brian got away.
Okay.
He's
okay.
out there somewhere. Ebrand doesn't know where he is. He thinks he got back to us.
I mean, that's a relief, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's good
that's-
news. Where was he?
In some kind of weird, like, inside of a trailer. I think he's been hiding out or something because, like, it was like, you kind of like a shipping container or like a cube truck. There was a map. There's a map.
What was it of?
Honestly, I don't remember.
You want to try to replay your memories?
I do.
Let's roll your new power.
Oh.
Zoom and enhance.
Ooh.
It's not a thing.
God. I got
What'd you get?
pair nines.
Okay. Yeah, and you are able to, with
This
the
is
help
neat.
of another random holographic projector nearby, you actually use a few of them to create this image, and you all have the like momentary shock of seeing Ebrian, and it's like this still image of you looking at Ebrian, but we have this like, it's like a 3D photograph, right? It's a still of, you can see Sapna, like holograph Sapna talking to, like facing Brian. There's a bunch of cardboard boxes. There's a map laid out on some of the boxes. There's a lamp on the wall. There is also, something you didn't notice before, but you realize this time, there's a sleeping bag on the floor and the accoutrement of living here. There's like a little camp stove, all kinds of stuff. So that is
Okay.
there. And
You get your first look at the face of Brian. That's cool.
Yeah, he's kind of, Hector's kind of like, oh, name with the stories now. So he's...
You know this one's the bad one because the goatee.
yeah, he does. He does have a good team. That is true.
And do we get a good look at what's going on with this map?
Yeah, you can see this is a map, not a topographic map of like a ground, but it is kind of a mind-bending optical illusion of like swirling arcs that are, I'm gonna say, incomprehensible unless somebody tells me otherwise. But it's like you look down into it. It's also recreated from Sapna's memory of the circumstance, and so there are some caveats. But it looks like the you can see the folds of this map as paper, right? But those folds are like, it still looks like you're looking into a screen. And it is just this 3D representation of all these curving arcs and it honestly just looks like modern art. Like, it's hard to discern it as anything. It's just the shape of this folded document looks like a map, which is...
Has anyone ever read the Wrinkle in Time series by Madeline L'Engle?
in real life I have.
Long,
Yes,
long
same.
ago, yes.
Okay. It's not a direct one-to-one comparison, but I love the concept of, like, folding and twisting and multiversal tesseracting. Anyway.
I love the book series.
So
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, good book.
We get a good look at it.
Although I did reread it recently, and the like Christian undertones are actually sledgehammer overtones that I hadn't realized at the time.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
like
Uh,
Many Waters
I
is
was about to
straight
say-
up
Yeah.
straight up a retelling of a Bible story.
Yeah. And I just, like, when I read it as a kid, I was very much a Christian. And now that I'm not and reread it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
reading like The Last Battle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
it's
sure
like,
my favorites
whoa.
would rapidly switch around if I were to reread them
Sure.
today. you know? Yeah.
I heard somebody else talking about how it's like, I remember being cool sci-fi stuff, and then it was just like this really, just a love story, like a teen love story.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the cool sci-fi stuff happens at the end.
Yep.
Amazing.
Okay, so yeah, we have this image of Ebrian, and also Sapna, you'll be able to recreate this image anytime you want. This is like just locked in your files, which is a weird way to think of that.
Should we take some of these with us? I'm pointing at the projector arms.
Well, I think technically I don't need those because at least right now there's, and I just point out 17 different spots where there are other like camera
Mhm.
speaker projectors.
Right, right. I mean, I'm sure that once we get back, Dr. Light can make something, but
Also, I mean, these belong to people.
oh, I thought
So these are human remains. So that they're cybernetics, right?
yeah,
But they
I think it's this moment of like Caduceus has been so in like focus mode that it's like a pullback to like Yes.
Yeah, these
These
belong
are
to
people.
prosthetics. Yeah.
Mhm. Right. It's good to know.
So worth noting.
Yes. I also think there's a moment where like we have this conversation and it's like, oh, do we want to take it? It's like, no, there are all these other cameras and these and like there's this just millisecond pause before belong to people
Mm-hmm.
where like I have read the information
Mhm.
on all of these limbs
Yep.
and get basically like the data on all these people that they belong to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have a list of the obituaries and, just basic information on where they're buried and what, just how that is rendered. I think the cultural norm here is that people are mulched, right? So, like, people are recycled into their gardens here. And so these prosthetics are kind of like eventually maybe be recycled, reused, but these were such old technology that they were just like away somewhere. And so it's just dark. Like nobody wanted to destroy them because it felt disrespectful. And, you're also like, these like public news files are like, they're like ancillary points, right? Of like, just all this stuff is flooding into your consciousness. And yeah, you just get the whole story of like, all of these limbs are from more than 100 years ago. Because nowadays people regrow a limb, or there are much more sophisticated ways. If people even want a prosthetic, they it just is very old technology according to these guys. And it's actually way more advanced than any of the prosthetic limbs you all are familiar with. I mean, your 2023 has very good prosthetics, like way better than our real world, but this is another order of magnitude more sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's worth noting. So yeah, that's that. All right, so as you're getting ready to leave the stadium, the let's see, I guess we're just leaving all the limbs here.
I'm hoping there's some sort of cleanup crew
Well, the
from
Floombas are becoming
Scintillation.
back.
Yeah. There's a that like a fleet of that Jetson noise, the Jetsons swarming in to or the Floombas swarming in to start organizing returning these to cold storage, and and also a lot of these had escaped like family altars, or like, not that they like had it on the mantle, but it was like in a somewhere, place of honor at the home. Like people handle them in different ways, right?
Mhm.
But they all need to go somewhere, and yeah, the Floombas are sorting that out, and yeah, so
We head to scintillation and medical attention, right?
Mm-hmm. Medical attention.
yeah. So you all. Oh, actually, this will be fun. So another Floomba comes down, hovers about 6 feet, 6.5 feet above the ground, and just projects an image of scintillation to be walking next to you, and this Floomba just sort of like hovering right nearby, and she walks with you as you go to the hospital, right? And there are and as you leave the stadium, people are gathered outside like, what the fuck is going on in there? And then there is like a very transparent news report that's being put out of like, there are recordings of what happened. And Scintillation is giving them like censored for trauma, right? A report of like, if you want the whole thing, you can go here, but it's horrible. So, like she's not hiding anything from them. She's giving them like,
A content warning.
yeah, family-friendly reporting on what has happened. And I just want to make it clear, she's not actually editing what people know, right? She's actually telling the story of what happened here. Now, whether the rest of the conspiracy theorists will be on board with that is doubtful. But
And their problem.
yes, exactly. And they no longer have a fucking pinnacle superhero to lead them.
Villain?
Yeah, villain. Thank you, super villain. And so the yeah, and the people part, especially when you come out injured, you know, and you're sort of limping along, and you have scintillation walking with you. Everyone's like, oh, and they get real quiet and they just kind of watch you go. They're not like clamoring to get you or talk to you or grab you or anything. They're just like, what the fuck is happening kind of thing. And scintillation walks you over to the clinic where they have these tube things that you're supposed to get into.
Back to tank.
It's not filled with liquid. It's a bed with a like domed thing that they like a clamshell down over you.
Then they smoke you.
Yes, yeah, it's like a smoker. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's more like that.
like a big green egg.
Yeah,
How exciting!
Yeah.
People enter Tic Tacs.
yeah. Well, it's all like if Apple
Yeah.
designed it, you know. So it's the what was that Matt Damon movie where he's got the like exoskeleton just like grafted? to
Elysium?
his- Yeah,
Yeah.
Elysium, right? There's a healing thing in that is like that's what these are basically.
Okay.
So yeah, you go in.
New medical technology, very exciting.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah, yeah. Are you taking notes?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this one, you each of you has to consent to let it read your DNA before getting in. So is anybody not going to do that?
Hector will not consent.
Okay. Then you don't get to get in the device. I mean, you could get in and lay down. It's just not going to do anything to
Take a
you.
nap in there.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving this mech suit ever.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. Like a nurse will come over and like put some basic bandages on you, but he's like, I mean, this thing can take care of all of this in like,
Yeah, I
No
get what
time.
you're saying. I'm
okay,
yeah.
Whatever.
Caduceus says, yeah, absolutely, but you have to explain everything that you're doing as you do it.
Okay.
Deal?
Yeah, I mean the device says, okay.
Yeah, talking to the machine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I will.
He gets it.
Yeah, it's a little more modulated than that, but it's also not intelligent, right? It's and actually, Sapna, you know that for a fact, for some reason. But
Hey,
it
Siri,
is
heal me.
it is a very, very functional, automated device.
Yes.
Frank,
Yeah, I'm going in.
okay. Sapna,
I will.
okay.
With a I want to open up a line like once it's read to scintillation
Mm-hmm.
and find out like what the differences were between me and Tech Pro.
Oh, right. Okay. So just real quick, we can go ahead and everybody except Hector can just erase all the damage on there. It's also worth noting any sort of like arterial plaque,
If there
just
was anything left. I'm
Yeah.
Literally,
Caduceus.
everyone else is like, "Oh, this feels familiar," and Caduceus is like, "This is the first time someone's done this to me."
yeah. It absolutely is
Funny.
a
Can't wait to get home and eat a lot of hot dogs.
yeah. It's also why I think I had made a point that like the Blaze West was like 100 years old or something, 150 years old.
Yeah.
And it is just like resetting a bunch of your cells, and so you actually so we can individually you can veto this, but otherwise it's also setting you to appear about 35 if you're older than 35.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
They're like, you need to be a little sexier, Caduceus.
So,
Take 8 years. 8 years?
Frank.
6 years.
Are you comfortable with being in young end?
I think Frank kind of like wakes up and goes, oh, hey. Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Second chance.
So we come back to our universe and there's a tabloid asking if Sentinel's gotten work done.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yep.
Yes, but not how you think.
Not where you think.
This amuses me because it basically sets Sapna to their exact age.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, subtract the last year.
Yeah, you
Yep.
just lose some like eye bags or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All of you feel like more rested than you've ever felt in your life.
Uh-huh.
Since
Oh, that back pain, I didn't even realize.
you just got used to it, you know, that all those little chronic things. Unfortunately, it's also going to erase any scars. So if there were any scars that you were real proud
Not
of,
my deep emotional stuff.
no, it will not. Yep, you're right.
Gotta go to
Not-
therapy for that. Counseling.
Yeah,
Rid of those.
Counseling, yes.
yeah. And it, you know, each one of these it's done within 5 minutes or so, and you can all go at the same time, so you don't have to wait all that long, really. And
So, I want to know.
yeah.
Tell me about.
Oh, yeah. So you are as genetically identical as
Hector's all-
you could be, right? And be slightly different in the way that you are.
Get gray hairs put back in.
So
Just get my gray hairs put back in.
sure.
Yeah.
What is that?
You
What is
dye
that?
it for
Just for
stuff
me.
that's like, yeah.
Or
it's
get
the just
Caduceus
for
to do it.
men.
I watched them do it on a Queer Eye one time. They took this guy's like bleach blonde hair and dyed it brown, and then they just put in little flecks of gray, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I should get that done because
Yeah.
my hair is just naturally this color all the
Yeah.
time. So
Well, Salt and Pepper looks great. That's
It
like
does.
one of the hottest
I've
masculine
been waiting
looks
to
I
become
can
a
think of.
silver fox, and
Yeah.
I just got to have regular hair, I guess.
Yeah. Not a lot of my hair has gone gray either, and I'm like, come on, I'm 46. Like, what are we waiting for here? Okay, so the the machines reset you all to about, approximately the age of 35 or so. And like the most healthy 35-year-old that has ever 35'd. So yeah,
The
Ryan
other
Gosling.
thing
All
I
right.
want to talk to Scintillation about. Yet another throwback to that first day at the lodge.
mhm.
That it's like, I understand why you needed this, but would you please delete it?
Delete what?
Our DNA, the three of us who did consent, like the three
Oh,
of our DNA.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. It was the machine needed to read it, and then it doesn't store it,
Oh, okay.
right?
Oh.
It just was like, but it is like somebody could reasonably have doubts about that, and it was like just giving you upfront information. So, and it said, I'm not going to store it, but I have to read it, and if that makes you uncomfortable, then don't sign up.
Can I retcon and then get the heal? Because I think that's what Hector's hang up
Oh,
was.
okay. But I mean, does Hector believe they're not going to store his information? That's, if you tell me yes, then yes. But
Because you can kind of read scintillation a little bit, right? But you're not in the same location at this point.
Yeah, but it's also not scintillation. Right?
yeah, this is the like device.
Yeah.
It's Siri.
Yeah.
It's Medbot.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Siri, stop listening. I would say he wouldn't.
Okay.
I have a weird question too. And this is, I want to leave this choice in your hands as to how Caduceus's power works. They read the DNA to return us to stasis.
Mm-hmm.
Do I turn back into Kit?
You're gonna make me decide that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Does Caduceus? So I guess my question here is: does Caduceus is altering the way he looks to become Caduceus? Does that rewrite DNA, or is it strictly a?
I don't think it does.
Yeah. So
I don't think it does. He's not changing his DNA.
no,
So,
I'm back, baby.
yeah, I mean, I think that's however you naturally grew to this age,
Mhm.
without any sort of outside interference,
Yeah.
is how you appear.
Yeah.
God.
So
Yeah.
I go into the pod.
is gone.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, all of my trauma's being healed.
Yep, that's how that works.
Caduceus steps out and is Kit again, but doesn't seem to have recognized it yet. Just kind of steps out and is like, I feel great.
Oh, but it's the kit that was like 2 inches taller.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Implications. Okay, cool.
Does that mean that the gray streak stayed?
I don't think. I don't know. That's so complicated. What's the better story beat?
We could roll for it.
Okay.
That's why we got dice.
Yeah.
Let's see. If gray is sexy, 5s or higher keeps it.
Yeah.
That's a 9. It's still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Amazing.
Yeah. Cool.
I actually go to like, just kind of instinctively like reach out. Like it's like, oh, you, and then I see that I've got this glove on, and I take my hand back.
What?
You look like you did before.
Kind of turn and look at the glass and just catch like a little bit of the reflection and go,
Chainsaw's on the other side. Hey, kid!
oh.
I like this
Yeah, yeah,
visual,
and
like that
just,
you
like-
were still in there.
Yeah.
Like walk by the room, you're like looking at the glass, like, oh no, I'm like, hey, kid!
Also, I gotta have the like bodysuit that you were in is like too big. You're like in
Yeah.
your older siblings.
Right,
like,
right.
PJs.
Because Caduceus is a bit more muscular.
Yeah. And like a little taller, right? Or
Well, not
Was
anymore.
that,
We're the same height now.
when did I make Kit taller? Why did I do that?
When I shrunk back down from being large, turning into a 9.
Oh, no. I'm taking that away.
Okay.
You don't get it.
Okay, that's fine.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, as long as the gray hair stays, then we're
Yeah. I think that's fine.
Okay.
then I don't have to riot along with all the shippers out there.
Oh, it also can. We could also have it be like it's confirming with you every step. Should I reset this? Should I reset this? You know, like check these boxes. You know.
I love it. I love it
Yeah.
being a surprise.
Yeah.
I don't want to
excellent.
uninstall sexy.
Yeah.
Not the height, no. But,
Sexy.exe.
But Kit's very comfortable at 5'10", so they don't 6'1", 5'10", they don't mind.
Yeah. I just also like that it's even baggier and like too big
yes,
on you.
yes.
So
And I have to just take a little moment to do the mental thought, and it like shrinks back in.
yeah.
And my smoker's voice is a little better.
It's like I've never smoked at all, but I still kept the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else we should note about the med pods? Okay. Something else I should let you know, Sapna, is in the course of this, you had you had taken out the earpiece that Dr. Light made, or sort of reverse engineered from the broken one that you had, because Tech Pro had started to manipulate it and really wanted to stab you in the ear, which he unfortunately didn't get to do. Bummer.
Unfortunate for one of us.
Bucket list, you know. But I assume you have the device because it's your link to home and you wouldn't just throw it on the ground. Plus, a whole bunch of stuff happened all at once. So I assume you like yanked it out and just jammed it in a pocket.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the as you actually are forced to like sit still and be quiet for a few minutes, your consciousness is able to wander, and you're like, what's this? Oh, this is the medbot. Oh, don't mess with it. Like, leave it alone.
Don't touch it.
Don't poke at that. Do not unplug during process. So you're trying to stay focused and like keep your hands and arms and mind inside the vehicle. But
everything's so shiny.
and your attention is drawn to the device in your pocket, and you right away can like think about it going back into the right shape, and it does without any real trouble. And furthermore, you now understand, like, the thing that Dr. Light had never figured out is like what it is broadcasting on, like what frequency. Like it doesn't make any sense because it's not radio, and it's not inhibited by like lead walls, right? Or because she's tested everything, right? It was like it doesn't operate like a radio device, so I don't know what to do with it, and it is just some other, like frequency is even the wrong word, right? Some other medium. And however, this device gives you access to that because of how it's designed, like the way that it's built, the components of it. You can see it in your mind kind of blown apart of like, oh, okay, this piece and this piece and this piece. It's nothing like alien metal or anything like that. It's just these components in this arrangement in this amount equals being able to tap into this extra dimensional medium. And that those loose parts in your pocket are probably what sent your consciousness skipping. So the outcome, if you can figure out how to do it, you probably don't need the earpiece to speak across dimensions. Or you don't need it in your ear, right? It's like you need that electronics, right? But it just creates a little bubble in space that is connected to everywhere all at once.
Amazing. Well, this also... Oh, this is going to be good too when I...
What?
Well, because I could talk across space, right? But if I have bad ideas that Sapna would like to do, thanks to
project an image
trauma.
of yourself. Yeah.
like,
Sure.
then, but yes, all of that makes it much easier to focus on the inside versus the outside
Sure.
versus the, ooh, shiny everything else. This is the most shiny.
Yeah.
So they don't accidentally break all of the med pots.
Oh, I need you to roll your power, your new power,
New power.
which I don't think has any wiggle dice in it yet, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I think I disallowed that.
You did. Pair of tubes.
Oh, that's not good enough.
Didn't figure it.
All right.
The fact that I got a pair at all was
Yeah,
kind of...
I'm sorry I didn't say ahead of time. I did need 4s from that. So if you want to re-roll, you're welcome to. I mean, what's willpower even?
Have we seen it? No. I rest my case.
Sure. Well,
Has anyone seen Kit and willpower in the same room together?
this is hilarious.
2s?
3s.
Not good enough.
Oh my god. It was like, so you wanted better, right?
Yep, that is technically better.
I got you.
Oh. I feel like...
Are we going again?
I feel like I've stretched that as far as...
It's up to you. You could buy more dice.
I'm like, how much am I willing to? Because I used 2 earlier, and I just used 1.
Yeah, I will say, to give you some context for why you might, if you want to, is, you have this thing blown apart in your mind, just seeing how it works, and then you're seeing how, like, the original design is merged with what Dr. Light did to it, and, like, the power source that is, like, now at 60% or whatever, and that's kind of a concern. But like, that was something she had to add to it, was like a normal battery, the way we understand how batteries work. And there's something about that like doesn't look right.
Oh, I definitely
But
want to.
it is really hard to figure out why, because you're not an electrician or a designer of circuit boards or anything like that. You can see the circuits, you just don't know what they're for.
Yeah.
One of my favorite settings that inspired Pinnacles a little bit is Extraordinary, the British series that came out last year. And 4s?
10s.
10s, okay, even better. But in it, the mom, who is this very funny comedian, I'm blanking on her name. She's one of the hosts for Pottery Throwdown, the Irish lady.
I don't know her name, but I've seen this show,
Yes.
so I know who you're talking about.
So she gets technopathy powers but is bad with technology. And
Oh,
so
no.
like is the mom who like needs you to set up her iPhone for her, but like
We'll just spam the TV on and
yeah,
off.
like
and,
can't, you know, she could control it from afar, but doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know?
So good. You
So-
can flip all the switches, but you flip all the wrong ones.
Yeah, yeah. And it was just like such an inspiring moment for me of like, oh, people getting powers that they wouldn't even want to use to like get good at something.
Also, one of my favorite powers from that game, from that show, is the character who gets super strength, and then her girlfriend breaks up with her and reappears the next scene with a shattered pelvis.
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Yep. That's the kind of shit that.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen to you.
Yep. All right.
Hey.
So you are in the clinic recovery garden, and but honestly,
Tents got me.
oh, that's right. All right.
I paid for them. Give me what I paid for.
So you can see how this device was supposed to be powering itself with a different type of like power technology, and you're pretty sure you could put it back. You just have to like rip that battery out of there and put the circuitry back the way it's supposed to be, because it just has a way that it's supposed to be and it's not right. And you probably couldn't describe to somebody how to do it, but you know it's not right, and all you have to do is make it right with your power. So it's basically guaranteed to work.
I mean, definitely.
Yeah, you got this.
I'm definitely doing it.
Yay.
Okay, before you roll,
Mm-hmm.
because this is unfamiliar, you're gonna need 6s.
Okay.
So if you want to buy any extra dice, you're welcome to. But yeah, I'm just not gonna let you buy wiggle dice.
Let's try again.
Okay.
This one. Ended up in
Cocked.
the corner. I was like, is it a 2? Is it an 8? I don't know.
It makes a difference.
See both.
Oh, fuck. Don't want to break it.
It's baby's first power.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Break it.
It's not like this is your only connection back to your home dimension.
I don't want to break.
That was good, Enge.
Oh my god.
What do we got?
I'm fine. No matches. That's what we've got.
You know, if you
Do you
buy,
wanna, your thing is a little uneven. Do you want to put it on?
yeah,
the,
that's what's happening.
It's, listen.
If you buy dice with willpower, those stay in for rerolls.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if that wasn't clear.
So that's my my goof on the roll. So
Yeah, the whole
Like
dice
this one,
pool
I should
is allowed
know.
to be re-rolled. So if you pay 3, those 3 dice stay in for all the re-rolls.
Oh.
Oh
you know what I mean?
my
Good.
goodness. Statistically, this is not possible.
Are we keeping count of how many rerolls this is?
This is
4.
4.
Wow.
7s.
Okay.
The amount that I was desperate for this to work that I just paid all of those rerolls and the willpower it takes me to use this power.
Okay. Now, what I would like to do, though, how much willpower do you have?
8 now.
Okay. I would like to characterize this effort, though, right? Because this was you failing 4 times in real time. We don't always do rerolls like that, but I think it's good if Sapna is getting frustrated or however that manifests. You can decide, you can characterize that. But what does that look like? As you're so you know how to open the thing. You open the thing and you can just sort of like hover the pieces over your hand.
Immediately, all the springs go.
Yeah. you pull it open, and there's the like little watch battery that she like hot wired into this thing, and you're like, no, go away.
Bad.
Wait, did I need that? Oh crap.
I think it's like one of those things where like, so I've got this. And I'm like, okay, if I just channel this power through the gloves, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. And I take it apart and I take out the thing and I put it together in a way that I think it should work. And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so I freak out and I put it all back together the way it was to begin with.
Yeah. And then that doesn't work.
And then I take it apart again. And then I put it back together again.
Yeah.
And I take it apart again.
Yep.
And this is just like all like fractions of seconds. Yeah, in a way, it's really fast, but also like increasingly, like my hands are shaking underneath it. That it's like, no, 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 no. Okay.
Yeah, and it turns out it was a difference of like a micron this way for this loop to be over this loop. And it does create, I think chat was joking, but it like creates a, look, 0-point energy is a viable theory that is unproven, but kind of makes sense mathematically. It creates like a little bit of cosmic tension that is, it's not technically perpetual energy, but it is pulling energy from somewhere to this device. It just creates a conduit, and so it doesn't actually have a battery. It's just always on.
Great. Also, there is like sweat. Just, I'm drenched at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the course of like a minute of work. Just like everything is. And I get it working, and it's like that amount of relief. And just close my eyes, and it's like completely drained.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's a bad time.
I'm sure that energy isn't coming from like an alternate universe where they have the Matrix or anything.
No.
And wherever it's coming from doesn't need the energy, right?
No. It's just an earpiece.
Designed by E. Brian.
I was like, the lighting on my face just got so strange. The flashlight on my camera
Oh.
is on and shining at me directly.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I was like, oh, are we doing something interesting with the lights today?
We're still in the med bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're in the garden.
The garden.
Yeah, in the middle of the building, actually eerily like the building Sapna infiltrated, where there were the rooms are on the outside and there was that square patio on each floor.
At Rice Corp.
Yeah, it's kind of like that building. Actually, it's exactly the footprint of that building. Even the way, like where the medical rooms are, it's like, oh, this was your apartment. And actually, the room where your med pod was is exactly the space where your apartment was in their facility. However, when you go out to the garden, it's actually half the, so there's this big square space inside the building. Half of it is a garden. And then
Sponsored?
if you go up, it's so it alternates, right? So half garden and then just open space to the next floor, and then half a garden and half a garden and half a garden,
cool.
up like that. So it's just alternating. And
How much distance between the floors?
it's like, you know, a normal floor, so 10 feet or so. I don't know.
Could totally parkour jump from each floor.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I do think that as you're finishing putting it together and you're like, Jesus Christ, no! Okay. You do hear Kit's voice go, is this a bad time?
Like, hands close around it, put it back in my pocket. Look up. Pretend I'm not covered in sweat. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. That kind of conflicting look on their face that you know all too well, where like they are reading something that they know you're lying about, but they're trying to be thoughtful. And they say, actually, I just wanted to know if we checked in lately and if we could ask how long we'd been here in our time.
Yeah. That should work now. Rude.
So rude.
What was that?
We're about to murder this whole space station.
What was that?
It's just 3 10s on 5 loose dice.
Or what?
And then a giggle.
So, Sapna, you're having this conversation and you look over. Sapna's the only one who was inside that building, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're having this conversation, you look over Kit's shoulder, right? And you see there's like a sign on like a framed poster kind of thing that says rise, and then there's like a plant in front of it. And I need you to make a stability check.
Y'all better not do this nonsense to me again.
What could go wrong?
Now they're back to normal.
Okay.
We got a pair of 8s, a pair of 6s, and a pair of 3s.
Wow.
So you don't need to lash out with your power, but I am gonna make you like walk past Kit for a second in the middle of this conversation and move the plant, and it just says rise and shine with a medical career, and it's just a recruitment poster to be a nurse basically, or doctor or whatever, you know.
Like, put the plant back. Turn back around.
I can come back at another time. We
So,
don't have to check now.
just to recap a little bit, Kit said
Can we use the thing that you just had in your hand to check in, see how long we've been here?
right, and then you
Sapna-
said
I said, walk past, move plant,
yeah,
move plant back, turn around,
yeah.
and just say, yeah, sure, we can do that.
Okay, because are you sure you're doing all right?
I think a few decades of therapy won't fix.
Is there
This,
you know,
it's, this whole place is set up, like this specific place is set up like the patios at the power place
At Rise Corp.
at Rise Corp.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I never really got a chance to. It's been a busy couple of months. And listen, I know that you agreed, and I know that we got everything ready and we did what we could, but I'm still sorry. That shouldn't have been our plan.
You know, it wasn't.
Just choking on air. Sorry.
It wasn't that. It wasn't going in. I wasn't even getting found out. That really was the problem. It was that when I called for y'all, you weren't there. Yeah. When I needed you, you weren't there. And then when everything was happening with 2 times and Brian and you left me behind.
I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna seem like it's really off topic, but I promise I'm gonna get to a point. When I'm in surgery, a lot of things can go wrong. But I always know the next thing to do. Even if the next thing to do means
there is no next thing to do. And when we first started doing all of this, I wasn't sure if all of this was going to be like this, that, and I was right. I'm trying. But I get out there and I don't know the next thing to do ever. And I'm letting you down. I let Brian down. I let Chainsaw down. I'm really, really sorry. And I want to do anything to make sure that I never let that happen again. But we all fuck up. We have all fucked up. I don't want to keep not being there for you, Sapna. I don't expect you to be perfect, kid. I just want you to lean on me the way I lean on you. And not to think that if you can't go it alone, it's not worth trying to do it a different way. Yeah. None of us expected to be where we're at. I'm not just talking about sentient spaceship, sapient spaceship. Good distinction. But I care about you so much. That's fucking scary. Yeah, these last couple months fucking sucked. They really fucking have. I really care about you too. That was a really bad day. But first improvement, I'm never fucking turning your powers down again. For a wealth of reasons. The first of all and foremost being that it is a lot less safe than I thought it was when I was less powerful. I knew the risks going in. And I trusted you. Yeah, there was this moment, when I was there and he was keeping me, that when I turned everything up, it was like this switch turned on. And I realized a lot of things really quickly. And one of them is that apparently if someone's really low, like say a 3, and I try to turn them up to an 8, there is a high possibility that it just stops, to put it mildly. I didn't know that. But yeah, sorry if you were really looking forward to getting turned down again, but that's a joke.
Okay, I want to check in with these guys over here.
Yeah.
So we're in the recovery garden. What's the scene like for you? What's happening?
I'm pretty sure at least Hector's just lounging, having a bottle of water.
Okay.
Dylan.
It's like it's the spa water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And you didn't
Tastes
do
like
the
cucumbers.
treatment?
so
Okay.
he's hurting.
You got bandages and stuff.
Yeah.
And they offered you pain meds.
Yeah, but he's still like sore.
Yeah.
You know, like
Are you on pain meds?
I try not to be, but yeah, a little bit.
Oh, so I guess I'm gonna drink both of these beers by myself.
Yeah, I gave that up after a little while.
Yeah.
So, man, this job is fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucking wild, man.
Have you... This Ebrine guy,
Yeah.
I mean, I heard the whispers about him from you guys, but what the fuck is with that shit?
In what way? I mean, it's fucking evil, cross-dimensional dickhead. Came into our dimension and took our Brian. Guess he got away, though.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he almost killed me doing it.
Does that happen to you a lot?
Almost dying? Very rarely.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping we can get a little payback, but I don't think... I think he's in a spot where even if Sapna saw him, we're not going to be able to find him that easy.
I have faith that if she saw him, we can get him.
Yeah. Yeah. And now they've got new powers.
What?
Sapna.
What?
New powers.
I,
Oh, shit. Nobody told you.
I saw when I was in their mind, like, competing consciousness, I guess. I'm not necessarily sure.
Okay.
Hold on. Hector, I need you to roll stability, please.
He goes crazy and murders everyone.
I spent all my willpower. Pair of fives.
Okay. Then I would also like you to make we're going to use the useful part of your power to detect something. So we're just going to go ahead and roll that as well. Your telepathy.
That is 3 10s.
Okay.
Oh, I got
You-
a willpower.
You hadn't really noticed it before because it was kind of the static, the state of affairs when you arrived, but you actually can feel the like twin presence within Chainsaw. That's not like he's two people, but just that
Right.
there is this doubling or layering effect. It's just settled, you know. You watched a Birth of a Nation, and
What?
it's a new situation. And this, what you're seeing is the sort of the calmed down, healed over version.
Okay.
So apparently if you kill your dimensional doppelganger, you get their powers. So there was a guy tried to kill me when I was a lot younger.
Well, he would know who Citadel is if you want to name him.
Oh, right. You've heard of Citadel.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Turns out he was me in another dimension.
Just like what Sapna just went through,
Yeah.
and you went through it.
It was a little wild because he's got beam powers. Just kind of let me hands.
I heard bean
That's what I
powers.
heard too. Keeping it straight.
I do like beans.
Yeah.
These are amazing.
We've had this conversation before. Talk about beans on a regular basis. It's
Yep.
hilarious. beam powers, and yeah, he came to finish me off. Fortunately, we were all there, and I managed to take him out. But when I got all of his powers, I just started just blasting uncontrollably. Kid had to shut me down.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I do sense some of that energy, I guess, tied to you.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, it's the same that I was feeling with Sapna when that whole situation was going down with the merging of the layering, maybe? I don't know, man. Shit's fucking out of my pay grade.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff. But
So, is this outfit turning into like a hit squad?
no, absolutely not.
Because on it,
Instead, staring off into the distance, like, is it?
Oh no.
2 for 2.
Hector kind of, he looks down and he goes, I don't know, man, but I think I've given up my killing days.
Yeah, I'm a little torn myself. Back in the day, and most of the time that we've been operating, it's kind of that game you play with the bad guys.
Mhm.
We don't go too far. They don't go too far. People go to jail or they escape. There's been a couple times, and I didn't really mean to kill that guy. I just had to take him down because he was so dangerous, and killed like 10,000 people here. And I knew that if we didn't do it fast, something real bad was going to happen. And the last blast that I did, I guess, hit him a little harder than I thought it would. I thought I was just going to blow the hands off him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not his actual hands, but all the mechanical ones.
And you squished down to 10 of a kind.
Then he got squished. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we were in a kind of squish off.
Yeah.
So,
Which is a totally normal thing to say about a human situation.
yes. Yeah, I don't like taking somebody's life. Sometimes they leave you no choice,
Yeah, I totally feel that. I mean, that's just a switch I don't want to throw anymore.
Yeah.
Especially,
Being that second beer.
being trying to be closer with my daughter, like, it's two different worlds, man. It's
Yeah.
over there and back home, and having these worlds meld like that, it's not settling with me.
So while you two are talking, you can see, there's like nurses going around checking on everybody, see if people need anything. It's not like a hotel. It's just is like there's a bunch of recovering people here and like making sure everyone's like you're supposed to have this protein shake after the thing, and like it's a whole thing. But the two of you are having this intense conversation, and one of the orderlies comes by, this kind of medium height woman, comes in, stands, do you fellas need anything? And Chainsaw, you're looking up into Dallas's face.
I dropped my beer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to startle you. Are you okay? Let me get the... And she like gestures for the Plumba. And,
No, he's just a klutz. Let me have I can take a towel and I'll help him out.
okay, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to scare you. I just let me know if you need anything, please.
There go those dice for the stability
We're doing
roll.
stability roll? Thank
Stability.
you. I didn't even have to ask. See? We know what to do.
We know the game.
I got 8s, pair of 8s.
Okay.
Like, oh, no, it's fine. Sarah's a million miles away. What's your name?
For our viewers who may not recall, or listeners, Dallas was the love of Chainsaw's life back in the day when we first got powers, and they were on a super team together, and she got killed by Citadel. You asked her what her name is?
What?
Did you just
Yes.
ask her now? She says, "Oh yeah, I'm Nurse Austin. Is there? Look, don't make me laugh. I'm very happy with that choice.
Nice to meet you, Austin. Frank.
Frank, again, I am so sorry. Please." And she shakes your hand, and
It's a handshake that's like a little too intense.
yeah, and you can see she's also like a little bit not like weirded out, but like a little uncomfortable because she also made you drop your beer or like whatever. Like she's just like,
Like, where did I get a beer?
yeah.
Can I make a character choice for this nurse?
Sure.
Maybe she's not so weirded out as like that extra second that you spend on that handshake. She gets a look in her eye like maybe she recognizes
Oh,
you,
that's
and then
way
shakes
better.
her head and,
Yeah.
takes it away.
Yeah. And actually, I'm gonna go with I'm sorry. Do I know you from somewhere?
Doubt it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I we all know what you did for us at the stadium, and we're not supposed to say anything, but like, thank you. That's all. I also just wanted to say thank you for what you did. I didn't want to make it weird. I'll leave you to it. And the Blooma's already like,
Thank you for your service, for helping us out
sure.
here.
She doesn't laugh. That's me laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, thank you for God.
And she's walking away and you're like, thank you for this. Oh, you're both having the exact same experience. So thank you for that, Sarah. That was perfect.
Who played Dallas?
I did.
Yep. Okay. So, what else do we need to do here?
I think as these conversations are kind of happening at the same time, if you don't mind a little time skip, maybe Sapna and Kit come over, and Kit is like, "Hey, we were gonna try the device if."
Or we could even time skip to the Scintillation has arranged accommodations for you,
Sure.
and we're at this like suite of a hotel room kind of thing where it's got like bedrooms and there's a central
Sweet
area.
hotel room.
Yeah. So should we just pick up there?
Sure.
Like,
Great.
there's like a gift basket in there for you, like, a number of different things that like.
Oh, look. Tofu.
Yep,
I'm down.
tofu exists here.
Candied tofu. Yeah.
Yeah. Just I think I mentioned last time, like the idea of eating meat has just not occurred to the people here.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing to
It would
do.
mostly just be eating each other.
Well, there's animals. They have animals
yeah?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff.
I
But
see the dinosaurs do it, and they're like, "Whoa,
whoa. That's what animals eat animals. We're not animals. We're people.
scary."
And for the record, I am not personally a vegan. I'm not necessarily preaching anything. It just was, I thought, a fun story choice. So, Chet is going nuts with my silly name choices. It's fine. That's exactly what I was planning. I already knew we would meet in Austin eventually. So we'll see what else happens.
Is that? I want to get really quickly. I want to get a chainsaw brain mental place check. Obviously, being in these multiverses is like, we want to find our way home. Has this placed any doubt in your mind regarding that desire?
Do you want to ask Chainsaw that?
I don't know. I don't know that you just met Dallas.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So let's say that like that happened. You're kind of in shock. It seems reasonable, even though you passed your stability check. And we get to the hotel that's been set aside for you. It's this beautiful hotel. You're up on the top floor. You can see for miles around. You can actually see the curvature of the tube. And
Tubature.
Doesn't make any sense.
the tubature, is that what you said?
Not hear that. No.
No, because that's exactly where my brain was going. I was that far away from being there.
Well, look, in the context of why would they need a hotel here, I can hear you all asking. There are people want to visit different parts of the city, right? Like if you work and live in the industrial, this is a place of 40 million people, right? Like you might live your whole life in one quadrant and never really venture out much and
It's kind of like if you live in LA, it's like, well, why would you need a hotel in San Diego? I don't want to make that drive twice in a day.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So, and it's just like fun things to do, even though like there aren't any people who are just destitute here. There are no, like, it would be very like anybody who is unhoused has like a tent or like it's their choice because there is a resource for everyone here. Whatever, things are provided for. But also, we need fun things that, this is one of those. Because also this is like the 3 college town and, all the sort of stuff that goes along with that. There's
Gotta have the hotels for graduation day.
Yep, all of that,
Visiting parents.
Yeah.
There was this huge sports arena.
Yeah. I mean, it's still there pretty much. It just has to be repaired. The bots are on it. They know what to do. So anyway, yes, that's why there's a hotel. There is just enough difference where you can feel the reduced gravity up here. Just like 20 stories up is not much out of 20 miles, but
Little pep in our
just a little, 1% difference of what it was down on the ground floor. And yeah.
Like when you're going down an elevator.
Yeah, kind of like that. So you have the space, there's like a fruit basket for you. There's, everyone has private rooms. And then there's this like living room area with these great big floor to ceiling windows that look out over the city. I certainly think Chainsaw might seem a little haunted.
Yeah, probably quieter than usual, like staring out the window.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like Kid is entering this situation with like a weight lifted off their chest.
Yeah.
They like feel like a new person.
They've confessed something, or at least had a open conversation.
Had an open conversation that's been brewing for months, and then they walk in and like both Hector and Chainsaw are like,
Do we kill now?
And
Was
they're
that
like,
Dallas?
Oh no.
It's like, hey, everybody. Oh.
Yeah.
Wrong energy.
And I don't know if Kit's energy is ever Sarah's can be. So they come in with a bit of a smile and then read the energy of the room and go, "Oh, hi."
And what's Sapna's vibe in this moment as
Yeah.
well? Just so we have all 4 of you.
I think Sapna is more even keeled than they have any right to be at the moment.
Oh, okay. So like just opening the fruit basket.
Like, no, but like we come in, have this conversation, we all meet up here, and it's like, in a way, it's just the quietest, even though it's not technically any more quiet inside their head right now. But it feels quieter. They did the thing. They've fixed the transmitter. And that really, like, the amount of effort that they had to put into that kind of just brought everything down.
Yeah. How much total willpower did you spend on that?
like 6.
Yeah, that is a massive emotional expenditure.
Yeah. So but then, like, coming on the heels of that, having this, like, restorative conversation. So it's, like, this weird kind of, like, boat coasting on the ocean. And there might be a storm that is going to hit in, like, 2 seconds, and we don't know.
Sure.
But for now,
Okay.
it's just, they're just existing.
Okay. I want to check in too. We did XP for the big fight scene. That's why we're at 325 now. But for willpower, what is everybody's passion and loyalty?
Oh.
Mine was. Crap.
My passion is the team.
Uh-huh.
My loyalty, protecting the people of Green Lake.
You know, it's kinda
Seems like a
we need
million
to
miles
change
away
some
now. Yeah.
things.
Yeah. The yeah, so that's fine. I'm actually inclined to have you lose a willpower for the team thing, having met Austin, only because that was your former team and the like really like came out of the blue. But that feels arbitrary, so I'm not gonna do that unless you choose to spend a willpower on that.
I did protect the team with my Aegis shield,
Yeah,
but that. So.
but you
we'll
also
just call it a
succeeded
draw.
your stability check.
We'll call it a draw.
Actually, I think the Aegis move was worth gaining one total overall.
And then we'll say the.
No. On top of that,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. You should gain a willpower
Alright.
if you can.
Oh, I can.
Okay. And what are Hector's?
His loyalty is to his family,
Mm-hmm.
and then his passion is for protection.
Protecting people.
Mhm.
Okay. So I don't think. Well, do you think of Pooja as family or Sapna? Excuse me.
Hector would definitely think of Sapna as his family.
Okay. And you did a protect. So let's gain 2.
Okay.
Being the best is my passion. My loyalties, I had like the clinic and Heather as a loyalty, and then I also recently had, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something to do with the team, but I can't remember it, so we'll leave what we have here.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's just even
Yeah,
at this point. Then.
Yeah.
Sapna?
My people and thieving.
Thieving, right? Your passion is.
Gifts.
Yeah,
My
I don't think you
passion
got
is
this.
thieving.
I don't think you've stolen anything lately.
Stolen my heart.
Oh.
That was sweet.
They deserve a willpower.
It's
I'm
okay.
advocating.
I ended up, because of rolling the 10s on that last roll, I ended up even.
This is correct. You did steal powers.
Oh.
Shit.
Yeah, I'll give you one for that. Yeah, it's cheesy, but I like it.
It's not necessarily stealing, but there was whole undercover going after the bad guy thing. I think that.
Oh yeah, actually that does.
Stealing his face
You
I
did
did
steal his
steal-
face.
And voice.
And loyalty to your people. Let's gain 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I like that. Okay, so we're in a slightly tense room.
You come in and Chainsaw's been like staring out the window, and he's like, "Oh, hey, look at this! They gave us some sort of basket of stuff. They have cellophane here. That's cool.
It's edible too.
I was about to
Edible
say, like,
cellophane.
stuff actually holds up a piece of it. It's like, I think you can. Yep, it's you can eat this.
It's like a fruit roll up.
Why are we talking? Why are we talking about cellophane?
Just the similarities between their world and our world.
I think Hector's probably in his room with like whatever adjoining door open.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like in the area, but not really.
Off, yeah.
I would say if Kit is tuned into body,
Yeah.
Tear ducts have been used lightly.
Recent
So sorry.
tearage.
Those babies aren't getting rusty anytime. Oh God. Sorry. It's just for some reason that like conjured up the image of like body as car, and it
Yeah.
really got me.
This headlight fluid is fresh.
Okay. Listen, cellophane can be a very interesting conversation. I just thought I was coming into a room with very different energy than is being presented right now, so just wanted to give space for that energy to exist if we need it to.
I just think we've been through some shit, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to bring the room down. But I think I saw my ex.
What?
What?
What was her name? What was her superhero name?
Omega.
Oh, Gamma Girl.
Gamma
Gamma
Girl.
Girl.
My bad.
Close though.
Gamma Girl. You know, she and I were like a famous couple. And the day Citadel came for me, wiped out my whole team. Well, she didn't make it. Trying to protect me. And the nurse was her.
Shit. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, I had the whirl of emotions. I don't even know. How am I feeling?
Call into the other room.
Yeah.
Everything all at once.
How am I feeling, Hector?
Like I said, Doc, like shit.
Jesus. The angry teenager energy that's coming from Hector is also good. Wow.
I don't even know what to do with this information.
I mean, it's...
Kind of just want to go home. Do we have this thing? Can we go home?
Yeah, I actually, I was gonna ask if we wanted to make that call and check in, so we can do that.
Fuck, I don't have a home.
I mean, you have a home.
Well,
You just don't really have a bedroom.
right.
Oh no, that whole building fell down.
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
also, you can crash at my apartment. It's a little empty these days, but
Can you say, is it possible Kit would have said you can crash with me and Heather?
well, the thing is that Kit's apartment is often empty right now because Kit's staying over at Heather's a lot. So Kit's like, oh, you can use my
got it.
apartment. I'm not there.
Are we at the like, why do we even have two apartments stage? Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. You want to make that call? Sure.
Take the thing out of my pocket.
Yep,
Put it down on
sure.
the table, I
Yeah.
guess, to use it because I'm not sticking anything
Yeah.
back in my ear
You can
at
just
the
like
moment.
rebroadcast it out as an open speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you can redesign it as a speaker device.
Oh,
Speakerphone.
not right this second.
Okay.
I think that thought comes up and it's like, nope.
Okay,
Just immediately like
sure.
viscerally like even more tired just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Straight down.
It's like things that are solid are not as solid as you thought they were, and that's maybe disturbing. So when you are gonna call in, you're there's a chime in the apartment, and no, hold on, that's not right. I'm trying to think of how to do this. So I think Scintillation had asked to be in contact with Dr. Light when you call in. So do you contact Scintillation and invite her to this call?
Yeah, now we have time for this.
Okay. All right. So
Hector does put a pause in. Wait, do we know about the Dr. Light and making AI crazy?
yeah, you explain that. Yeah.
So do we know if she's gonna make Scintillation crazy? Like, I don't want to doom the space station.
So the way she explained it to me, it wasn't that like the AI being around Dr. Light. Like she didn't do anything to make it crazy, except create it.
She didn't make this one.
And she didn't make this one. But it is something to be aware of. And I guess we can make that we can tell Scintillation and have her make that decision.
Let her have an informed consent. Yeah.
Also, I am embarrassed by how much video game brain rot I have in that you gave that idea and my brain went, oh, let's do a quick save.
You scum.
Yeah, sometimes it's the only way to be.
Yep.
If it's scum, just call me Algae.
Sure.
But yeah.
What's everyone's response?
Yeah,
to
we can ask Scintillation. I feel like that's a good call.
Yeah.
Okay. So Scintillation's Flimba arrives and she projects her 3D, hologram. And the short version is she's not concerned because this isn't her, her mind is in the Tic Tac. Like, this is just a remote. And so even if somehow that influence comes through this device, it's not going to affect her, probably, unless it reaches 20 miles, which is not likely. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the other thing, Sapna, is you know how to turn this device into something that can transmit video as well, because it was audio only before. And with like a couple of the things in this room, you can make it transmit video. Now, whether the other one, that's complicated, but
I mean, I feel like the odds on us getting a video of the inside of Dr. Light's ear might be a little bit.
it's the not zero, that's for sure.
But I do have some ideas on improvements to make when I get back with Dr. Light.
Sure.
When the chances of seeing the inside of her ear are 0.
Yeah. Just like a human-sized portal into her ear. Oh God, no.
You need a neti pot.
Yeah.
Don't put neti pots in your ear.
No. So, yeah, all right. So, Scintillation will be here for the call, and you set up this voice call, and right away, Dr. Light picks up. Also, there's like a little whoosh, and you can hear that Green Streak is in the room as well. And then there's like the Skype noise, and Rose is on Dr. Light's computer.
Amazing.
And all the other Dr. Light. I mean, you could just hear all of them go, shh, stop talking. And Dr. Light says, okay, what's the status? How are you doing?
I want to come home.
We want you home as well.
Okay.
Let's do a quick time check. Last time got very complicated. How long have you been away?
A couple of hours, right?
Maybe a day.
Well, you know, like a day, because you had to come up from the planet, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of running around and recovering and doing stuff, and
Sure.
like maybe even like a couple days. And they are logging your absence as like 37 hours. So it's almost exactly the same.
Okay. That's a relief.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, so the time slip doesn't happen every time.
But we
That's
haven't come
good.
back yet, though, right?
Yeah. It
Maybe
did-
that's. Oh, I hadn't thought about that, Hector. Brilliant.
Yeah, me neither, Hector.
Well, I guess the answer to that would be when we were talking to Eel from Indigo. Was because when we contacted them in Indigo, they said we had already been gone a week. And then
Yes.
there was no time slip on the way back because they were in
Oh.
communication.
True. Yes.
Just to put on my scientific hat.
Okay.
It would have been if based on what happened to us last time, either the time slip happens when we exit or that universe was running at a different time.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Well, we'll only know by running more experiments. There's, one experience a data set does not make.
True. If you can get the parts for the teleporter here, there's a high likelihood that we will be able to get home now.
All
Or
the
even
doctor
just
lights,
the schematics.
all the doctor lights start talking at once, and you can hear just because she's closer to the microphones. Like, I know. I will tell them. Calm down. She says, yes, we are ready to try to transmit something, and we realized it's actually lucky that you're in space because the safest thing would be to try to project it miles above the surface of the Earth so it doesn't run into anything or cause any problems. And we'll just put it in a sealed up situation and you can go retrieve it. I think that makes the most sense.
great.
Okay.
A bunch
So
of people live here.
I mean,
As long as
couldn't
they're
we
not
just
close
get the
to
schematics and scintillation makes us one?
yes, although transmitting that over an audio signal
I guess.
could be tedious.
Doesn't have to be.
Fax it over.
Right.
It doesn't have to be.
What do you mean? Wait, did you tell them about the villain? He hasn't come up yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Jason setup of like, there's this problem. If only there was some convenient power that had
It's possible to make this thing project video.
I don't see how the power supply would support any decent throughput on.
Your power supply wouldn't have.
What does that mean?
It powers itself now.
Can you explain more? I don't, what do you mean? How does it power itself?
I
And
don't know
so
how
out
much
of
I can really
so
explain it.
out of character, the feeling is you fixed it. Is the like you took this thing out and put it back the way it was supposed to be. Now, how you knew that's how it was supposed to be is a mystery, but and maybe you don't blurt it out, but the phrase that comes to mind is I fucking fixed it. That's why. But
and I think that's because I fixed it.
I think Kit then pops in and says, also, turns out the person that we were chasing after here was Sapna's doppelganger, who's no longer alive and was really good with tech.
Sapna, are you experiencing any new sensations or abilities?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, I think we're seeing how these theories fit together. Are you okay? Actually, that's Green Streak asks that. He interrupts Dr. Light to be like, Sapna, are you all right?
For now.
Okay. And he continues like, oh,
And at that point, like, and I make eye contact with Hector. Like, for now.
okay, well, look, everybody, I'm sorry I can't be there with you, but the Doctor's Light have a pretty good plan set up here that I think we can broadcast the equipment, or if you can set up a data relay, then maybe we can do that. But you'll need to give us the plans for the data relay and the schematics for how your device works.
That part's gonna be harder, but if I make it, then Scintillation can see what it is, and then maybe she can translate it into things that you could use.
Okay. All right. We just want to be able to get you all home.
I really want to go home.
Okay. So why don't you walk the so Scintillation brings up the idea of like she starts explaining the concept of like digital binary audio, like that's what I meant to say, audio binary communication of like basically the way modems worked in the 50s, which were actually using like sound tones to like broadcast data. From Scintillation's point of view, she's like inventing something, and from Dr. Light's point of view, she's like, oh yeah, that thing from like 70 years ago. Yeah, that okay, we could use that.
Yeah, we'll fax over the plans.
Yeah, and that's very confusing. And you say that, and Dr. Light is like, it's nothing like faxing. Keep your mouth shut. No, she said, shut your mouth.
Shut your I like it when she's forceful.
She was mad when you brought up faxing.
Something happened with Dr. Light and a fax.
Look, it was nobody's fault, okay?
Amazing. David's never gonna be the same. And after that, Kid is also like, Scintillation meet Doctor's Lights.
Hello, and it's, and now that you're in this like introduction mode, Scintillation like realizes that she's speaking to alternate selves, right? And she actually like looks a little nervous. Just this image you can see of her is a little, not timid, but a little shy.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to say Scintillation is the most like emotionally expressive Dr. Light that you've met. In like
It only took millenniums.
she has like very clear facial expressions and has told you how she feels on multiple occasions without being prompted or following a script. Whereas your Dr. Light is thoughtful and wants to communicate her emotions but doesn't think to, right? And it's just most of the Dr. Lights you've had contact with are like that. But Scintillation is very like warm and touchy-feely in a way that the others aren't.
She's the hypersensory autistic.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. More like that. She's kind of the nervous one on the call and trying to like be really polite, and the others are just like, what is it you're trying to say? Please just say the thing. And so anyway, they go back and forth for a bit. There is some exchange, and they realize like, okay, well, we just need to get this device working because we want to get Scintillation on the call, right? And they've all been basically using the medium that this earpiece uses, and now they're kind of merging theories of like, oh, this is actually one thing. This isn't two separate things. And once that starts to come together, there's just this very high level conversation happening that the rest of you are welcome to sort of.
You can see Hector probably in the background leave the shot, come
Yeah.
back with the sandwich.
Yeah.
After a little while, leaves again, comes
Yeah.
back with like a drink.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Just eating the wrapper on the fruit
Sure.
basket.
Like, actually, this part's good.
It is like a fruit roll.
A little sweet.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna skip us ahead a day.
Oh, yeah.
Skip us ahead a day was the sentence.
Skip Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm. You know, I can try to make it the video thing if that will help you.
Yeah. Well, so once you explain that you could do that, and you're trying to explain to like, well, you put the round thing over the like coil thing, because you don't know what any of it's called, right?
No.
You're like, I know that this is titanium, and I know that this is palladium, and I know that like you know what it is, but you don't know like. You just do it, right? If you just do it right, then it works. Not that Sapna would say that. I almost said not that Pooja would say that, but Pooja would say that. Sorry.
I mean, didn't come here to be attacked as myself.
But yeah, they the whole Dr. Light team is working on this problem, and very quickly they're able to figure out how, this is an audio signal, but really we can send data over it and use some different frequencies. They're actually like, yeah, okay, well, we can turn this into a data line, right? So.
Oh, thank God.
And they just the real thing. So the fact that they have their group call is predicated on the medium that your device uses. The mystery of your device was how it was powered, right? Ultimately, that was the question. And so that's the part that they're like, okay, stop explaining. We'll just set up the video call, and then we'll have more information. We'll actually have like data throughput, and they do. They set up a connection between their call and scintillation directly, and scintillation can pull up screens, and we create a kind of big window or I think scintillation just replaces that floor to ceiling window with an image of the call, right? And you can see the doctor's light and Rose are on the like grid or on the Zoom call, right? And then your Dr. Light and Green Streak are in the room, and all of them kind of looking into the suite, and all of this over the course of the montage day. And there's a lot of that stuff going back and forth. Your Dr. Light is still like, I don't understand how this power device works, and scintillation doesn't either. She's like, I mean, it does work, but I don't really understand why. And one of the other Dr. Light is like, yeah, the theory behind 0-point energy was disproven a long time ago. That just doesn't work. The math is wrong. Thanks, James V. But you know what? It's working. So
I don't know what to tell you. Besides, this is what it was made to do. And
Okay.
I just got it back to correct.
Okay.
Now it's doing it. What do you want?
All right. Well, we think so this is Green Streak. Occasionally, Green Streak tries to come in and like translate for Dr. Light. He's also like read like 20 physics textbooks in the last week of like I gotta get a handle on this. He says, okay, well, we're ready to send the so the ultimate outcome is scintillation is like they're sending over the plans, and so much of it doesn't make sense without an example, is Scintillation doesn't feel confident setting up a receiver plate that they could broadcast something into the ship and definitely not blow anything up. Okay?
Fair.
And certainly not just be like, all right, hop in, kids. We're
Right.
out of here.
Right. So what they want to do is build the receiver plate in an RV and have you know, a research vehicle, and have the four of you fly out to a safe distance, put on spacesuits, and try it there.
That's so more than fair. That's so more than fair.
But they want all four of you to go in case it just accidentally brings you home or sends you somewhere. Well, it's probably better if you're all together. So that's the general plan.
So when we left, we were in Chainsaw's apartment and appeared in the same place of Chainsaw's apartment.
Yes.
I don't know how to breathe in space,
Well, that's why you should have a spacesuit.
but if we go somewhere without a space station or a way to get back to somewhere, we're just stuck and dying in a spacesuit.
I mean, we could try to project it onto the surface of the planet. We just don't know what all's going to happen.
They're just sending us teleport stuff. We're going to grab the teleport stuff and bring it back.
But then when we actually fire the teleport stuff,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you should be on Earth
Yeah,
when
do
you
we
do
want to
that.
land it and then?
Yeah. Once we get it,
yeah.
then we'll put it together.
And Scintillation's like, do you mean LV-246?
Yeah.
We call it Earth. It's where you're from.
I don't think it is, but okay.
I think it's been so long you've just forgotten.
That should just become myth. Nobody?
I mean, I feel like because the last time we went home, we went from a spot on Earth to a spot on Earth, so that seems better than teleporting in space.
I agree.
I am.
Yeah.
There's like a slightly elevated heart rate
Mhm.
and a little bit of like I am going to breathe like a normal human being. This is how normal human beings breathe.
Mhm.
About the idea of like going back into space.
Yep. So the so all right, Scintillation just agrees to, like, she's going to just gift you one of the RVs. Of like, I hope you can send it back to me.
We could have Dr. Blaze West
Yeah.
pilot it for us.
But then if it breaks, he's
Yeah, we don't want to
stuck
leave
on
him
it.
stranded or
They've got
Or do we?
or split between worlds or whatever else.
They do have some measure of autopilot as long as we leave it physically on, right?
Yes,
So as long as we don't turn it off once we land,
Yeah,
we should be able to get it back.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get autopiloted out because they didn't know they needed to retrieve him.
Right.
You know, and so they probably would
He
have
didn't
sent
have
us.
his card to send the distress signal.
Right, and they just didn't get in touch yet. So,
Cool.
yeah, that's the plan.
Right before we leave, I have one thing to ask Scintillation
Is this on the call with everyone?
privately.
Okay, like totally private.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not like I'm hiding it actively. It's just like sometimes you do things by yourself because you're like, nobody else would be interested in this.
Sure.
You know?
So you invite Scintillation into your bedroom.
Yes, come to my bedroom, Scintillation.
Okay, sure.
Hologram.
Is it weird if I sit on your bed, or is that okay?
No, that's fine.
Okay. She sits down. Some people are weird about that.
It's half and half on it if I'm even going to use it, so you can fully do that. I wanted to know, so you know how my friend Sapna had another version of themselves, and this seems to be the only place in the universe here for a while around that has people in it.
As far
right.
as we know, yeah.
And you know every person that's in this.
In a sense, yes.
Sure.
I know of I could contact anyone here, yes.
Satisfy a curiosity for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there someone like me on this ship?
Yes. She said that right away.
Oh, you've checked for this.
I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know if it would be uncomfortable.
I I'm a pretty curious person by nature.
When the four of you showed up, three of you registered on my face recognition, albeit with some strange anomalies. And I checked and saw that your doppelgangers are still here and living their lives. And that's why I posited that you were from an alternate dimension from the beginning.
Good one. I don't need to meet them or anything like that. What do they do?
Well, Tim is an algae farmer. I have a publicly available video if you're interested.
Yeah.
Okay. So she pulls up, like, not Creeper TV, but like, you know,
But
somebody's
Creeper
like
TV.
public Instagram reel or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Of like this
on the
guy
farm.
Tim.
Tim's an influencer.
No,
Farm influencer.
no, he just has. He's got coveralls on and is
Algae.
they're doing so all of the algae farmers were doing flash mob dance.
Oh God, they are in the past.
And so there's video of you with this, you know, like 10 other people, and they're all like stirring these giant vats and then like jump out and do this very cheesy synchronized dance that they definitely practice at least 3 times.
Yes, at least 3.
Yeah.
The algae dance.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The algae dance is your chance.
It just kind of chuckles
no.
a little and then says, thanks. Just wanted to know that they were okay. So,
Do you think Hector would want to know about his doppelganger? That's the word you're using, right? I was just saying alternate, but I don't want to.
either one's fine. It's not scientific.
Okay.
See, now I feel morally compelled to ask him, and I feel like it's not going to be a good thing, but I'm going to.
Would you like me to ask him?
No, I think I think it's better if it comes from me, and also maybe if he's not alone in his room, if that's an option. This is his first time. Yes.
It must be exciting.
Come with me,
Okay.
and we'll.
Just knock on his door.
Yeah. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, there's no good
It's
way
just
to
hookers
say
and
this.
cocaine all the way down.
So
Are you
I'm
trying to
just
sell me
gonna-
something?
What?
No.
What? So, do you want to see your alternate version of yourself?
He thinks. And like you can tell the look on his face is like he didn't even like register thinking about that. They're on the spaceship?
Yeah. You really don't have to if you don't want to. It felt wrong of me to not at least pose it as an option. You know, I mean, this is kind of a pretty low stakes one versus getting, you know, attacked by someone who looks like you.
He's really mulling it over. Yeah, why not? Like, you know, fucking technological powers and shit.
Yeah, I mean, mine's a farmer, so
Oh, that's nice.
it kind of is. Yeah. Good. Can I come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so scintillation follows you in, and she says, I didn't want to bring it up, but, you know, it came up, and, well, anyway, here, and here's Wonderwall. She projects an image, and it is a publicly available video of you in a lecture hall, indicating all these like physics symbol, like there's this great big like holographic drawings. Basically, it's like a hologram, but it's like you drew in the hologram with your cyber chalk. And it's this guy.
Smart board, Jason.
Yeah. And he I didn't think of a name very quickly.
Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin. Calvin is doing a lecture and is a physics professor and has a goatee. Tim did not have facial hair, by the way.
I think Hector's body was like pretty tense.
Yeah.
And then when he sees it, like it kind of relaxes in like a sort of beaten way a little bit. And then like he has like a single like tear roll down his eye. And he's like, well, at least one of us fucking paid attention in school.
Sees the tear, but kind of does that. Someone's having a hard time and they made a joke, so Kit laughs. And yeah, it's always kind of weird to see it, but
I don't know if it would make you proud, but I'm going to say his last name is Calvin. Dr. Calvin's team was pivotal in the anti-grav drives that we use nowadays. It's 50 years ago now, but that's it was a
Yeah, I think that's all I want to know.
okay.
yeah, it's weird, but it's kind of nice to keep in perspective that a lot of it's just normal.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. Good.
Yeah, you should definitely probably turn it off now.
Okay. I'll leave. What else do we need to establish here?
I think we're ready to go home.
Okay. So you all get to pack up an RV. A lot of people come out to see you off. There's also a bunch of like media drones that are like filming your exit of your departure. You've become minor celebrities. No, actually, you're celebrities that everyone is talking about. It's like 40 million people are talking about you. Because Scintillation did not like just told everyone like we have visitors from an alternate dimension, and they
Now they have to go home.
yeah, and like explained in great detail what happened with Tech Pro, and just had a timeline and footage and just like
Real weird day for Dr. Calvin and
yeah.
Tim.
Yeah, and she also had alerted Tim and Dr. Calvin in like, hey, just so you know, this is coming. Like, that headache you've been having is sinus pressure. Yeah, this is why. So
And one day, somebody that looks like you may come to kill you.
yeah,
I mean, the odds are very low in this universe because they don't actually have powers.
yeah, true. Although killing any alternate self does kind of raise the power level of all of the other alternates. It just doesn't convey a superpower.
Just seems like a lot of effort
It is a lot of effort.
to go to not just another dimension, but also a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Another dimension.
I guess it depends on what
Spaceship
powers you
dimension.
have.
What?
It depends on what powers you have.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Brian could survive in space.
Fuck that guy. Wait, no. You met R. Brian, and I immediately went to E. Brian. You heard it here first,
That
Joe.
turned quickly. Sapna hates Brian. Wow.
E. Brian. I just got confused.
Amazing.
Suppose,
walk
I suppose
out.
all Brian's look alike to you. Pooja.
Mid.
I mean, what has a goatee? It's like, he's evil. I'm afraid of Dr. Calvin now.
Yeah,
You know?
we just hate goatees here. Okay, so
Chainsaw kind of pauses in the doorway and and he's holding a little piece of paper. It's like, just there's a nurse.
it's for scintillation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you just give her this note?
Okay.
Stupid. I don't. Just whatever.
All right. She takes it. Her hologram takes it in her hand
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Can I read it first?"
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to check.
It just basically says Austin, and then there. You could see the pause in between Austin and the rest of it.
Right? Yeah.
It would be vast.
We flash back to you writing it.
Yeah.
With the hotel stationery.
Yeah, and
Also
a bunch of
edible.
them going in the trash.
Yeah. You can eat them if you want.
Munch, munch, munch.
No.
Okay.
And then it's just
You are a zebra. Thank you, Steffi.
Oh no.
Brian's best line.
So good.
yeah, and then it just says thanks for taking care of us, Frank.
Okay. Yep.
And he feels dumb and then goes inside.
Amazing.
All right. Oh,
I'm keeping an eye on Hector, but I'll be quiet for now.
what did Hector do?
Evil. No, I'm just
Hmm.
worried about him. But yeah, we gotta get home.
Okay. So you pack up your RV. It is, as we've mentioned, it's a long, rectangular box that has a bunch of equipment in it, and you also have the prototype receiver that what? Oh. So
Hector beams over to Sapna. So, how do we get a mech suit from here to there?
I mean, technically, I think we could just put it on the pad thing when we go.
Yeah.
or you could wear it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they do act as space suits too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Gotta take that suit.
I think that's it. It's made for me.
It was. Looked pretty badass in it.
Hopefully, they got a helmet.
You can get a new helmet.
She's a joke.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what we do for family. We'll go for some tacos when we get back.
Oh my god, we gotta go to the lodge because, like, that guy makes the best food.
I don't think I still haven't even eaten there.
It's gonna be awesome. Blow your mind. Oh, wait.
So we're taking off. Scintillation offers to pilot the RV for you.
Oh.
I mean, you can pilot it if you want. As soon as you're
Probably.
at least this far from my space station.
I feel like that's like a full team veto.
Yeah.
I feel like they probably do let him pilot it.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, look, you're driving.
When you give your younger sibling an unplugged control.
Yes. You're doing it. You're doing it.
Fuck.
I was just gonna relate some like crazy Gen X shit that's happened, but it's just too much to go into right now.
All right. Talk about it.
Dad putting you on his lap when you're like 5 years old, so you can drive the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Listen,
not
I
in the
had-
parking, not in the driveway.
My
Like
Right.
parents are full boomers. I had that experience.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice. Okay, so the RV launches. You've got a few hours in space, and then you're going to be landing right next to you actually see the remains of your room that's sort of like melted from the rain and the humidity and the animals exploring it, and it's just
The ants have made off with a big
Yeah.
chunk of it.
big chunks of it.
Or guitar.
Yeah. But the safest place is probably, like right next to the lake, because there are no like buildings right next to the lake. The walking path is right next to the lake. It is not right next to the lake, right? So the chances of it overlapping somebody who's there are very, very low. Or you could even just park above the lake. And, if you had to fall into the lake, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So, what do you want to do?
I think above the lake is probably a good option purely because if there's any like reconstruction happening at your building, landing on it could be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But also hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Do you want to go fishing before we go back?
Take a willpower for that burn.
I'll just go fishing when we get back.
Okay. So you hover over the lake. You finish, resetting up all the transport pad stuff that you're familiar with, and it's big enough for one person to stand on. And once you get it on and powered up, and you have connection, you get Dr. Light on the phone, and she says, "Okay, everyone stand by," and it hums and powers up, probably purple lights, and seems like the right interdimensional lighting effect.
Sci-fi colors.
Yeah, and orange appears on the pad, and it just looks like an orange. It does have a smiley face drawn on it, and she confirms that she actually did draw a smiley face, so everything should be fine. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Right.
Okay, in your power armor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you
Fuck yeah.
it's like squeeze onto this thing. Yeah. And it is so the pad is like a focusing device. It's not like if you stuck your arm out, it would like chop off your arm when you transport. It's more like a Star Trek transporter where it, like this is one unit. I transport it, right? And it powers up. I need different colored dice. Okay. You arrive in Dr. Light's basement at the lodge. And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" You're in this power armor.
Yeah.
And I assume you hop out of it. It's like park it off to the side.
Yeah.
And,
Batu Barata Nick, and then he walks out.
yeah.
Gotta get to the
Is that the exit phrase?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So the everyone reports that he's returned.
Great.
You don't feel weird. You don't even have like a, there's just like you were on the transport pad. You were in the basement.
I can see like over the webcam. Like you see the webcam, everybody's like, "Hey, Hector," and Hector's fist just comes in with like a thumbs up to everybody else.
Yeah, I love that. So who's next?
We're next.
Okay. Same thing. Oh wait, I have to roll.
Is it the same?
You appear in the basement.
I walk off.
Okay. Yeah, it's. Is it okay if Heather's there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So big hugs. Your daughter doesn't totally know what you're up to, right? Yeah. Okay, so she's not there. So the two of you in the RV, staring at each other.
there's something wrong with us that two of our, like, that we had, like, super villain doppelgangers?
No. I think there was something wrong with them, not with us. It's got to be balance in the universe, right?
Wait.
We're awesome.
You are
If
so
they're
awesome.
The super villain, and they're the super villain, then that means looks at Kit and Hector.
Uh-oh.
Moment in time. I mean,
Okay. Matter of time.
But now that you've got me thinking about it, it's going to go round and round for a while.
Sorry.
That's kind of what I like about you. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Don't wait too long. I'll have some beers waiting for us.
Be right on your heels.
Yeah, you have to get the bagels.
Yeah, I'll get the bagels.
I think you're just making faces.
I mean, I rolled a 7 out of 100.
Oh my god.
I have a list of things that happen. This one isn't too bad.
Okay.
You appear over the lake, and you can like it's a very familiar green lake, but you just appear, and are in free fall.
Like, fuck. Like, boom.
Yeah.
Down.
Yep.
Like, don't feel like getting wet.
And head back to head towards the lodge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Chainsaw.
Jump through.
Hop on there. Okay.
Mhm. Energize.
Yep. You step through into the basement, and Sapna's not there.
Where's Sapna?
And they have a report on where she is, or where they are. So, yeah, there's
Moment of panic.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what? And when you come through, and it's like, guess I'm taking a detour by the local on the way.
Well, by the time you get here, the bagels should be ready.
Great.
Yeah, Klaus can make bagels.
Mm-hmm.
He can make New York bagels. He can make West Coast bagels.
Why would you ever make West Coast bagels?
As
Even is-
revenge.
What's a West Coast
Revenge.
bagel?
Revenge. Violence.
Ugh,
Violence. I saw
disturbing.
a tweet by a guy who said that he went into a place in New York and they wouldn't scoop his bagel for him, and I'm like, what does scooped bagel mean?
What?
Oh.
They take all of the dough out of the inside of the circle, so it's just like the bagel skin.
That's violent.
That is
What do they do with the insides?
They throw it away.
Why?
Here's
Because
the
you
thing.
hate bagels. That's
Here's the thing. Lower calories. However, I have also met people who get their bagels scooped and then fill the entire space with cream cheese.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
are you winning?
I mean, it's a cream
more
cheese
cream
win.
cheese is
yeah.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But-
I'm
But
not
it's supposed-
But I'm
opposed to
still
that.
going to eat the leftover
It's
bagel
supposed
part.
to be scooped for calorie reasons, technically, which
Oh.
is fucked up.
No,
But yeah.
not
No,
interested.
that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy LA
Diet
shit.
culture is really fucked up. I
Yeah,
love
it
bagels.
is toxic. Okay, so we're all back in the basement. We have added a Dr. Light to the group call. Scintillation
Has joined the chat.
pilots the RV back to the ship and has joined the chat. And in fact, you are 3 out of 4 went exactly where you're supposed to be. So you could theoretically go visit Scintillation again if you wanted.
That's cute.
And in fact, all of the Dr. Lights are like, hey, we should start practicing. We should visit, right? And we should start doing this. And your Dr. Light is like, well, our platform's underground, so I'm gonna relocate some stuff because you wouldn't want to do like what Sapna did and be in the ground.
Yeah.
That could be bad.
So we can go back there if we want.
Theoretically, there's some risk, as we saw with Sapna. We don't know how extreme that could get, but it does seem like we're getting a handle on this. Sapna's understanding of the interdimensional medium is really advancing things for us.
Also,
Well, when they get here.
also, if you have a projector, I've got this idea for some medical equipment that might be useful.
Well, yeah, I mean, we definitely should be sharing technologies if we can make them work. That's great. So, let's just have little check-ins of what everyone's next couple days look like.
Oh, don't look at me. I'm thinking.
I know Chainsaw's gonna show up to Rose's place with whiskey and the desire to kill feelings. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. They are ready to help with that task.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kit, first of all, comes back looking like Kit. That's great. Goes to Heather and is like, check it out.
Hey.
I'm back. Sends over the next few days to send a couple of check-in texts to everyone, especially to to everyone. I was gonna say especially to Chainsaw and Hector, but also Sapna just got new powers, so everyone. It's like, hey, how is it? How's everything going? But something that I love about this character is that their response to being really happy and being really sad is the same thing, which is that they're so excited to go back to work.
Yep.
Because it's not a distraction anymore. They can just fully do their job and just be really passionate about it. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I actually want to get to Sapna last, since they've got a new power. It's going to be a weird couple days, I think.
Yeah, I think Hector at some point will reach out to Kit. But first he would try to get some time with his daughter. Just to kind of schedule an awkward, well, he would want it to be a normal dinner, but it was probably an awkward dinner.
Yeah.
Where, he opens up with her about what he's doing.
Oh. Okay. About the whole interdimensional stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's not public knowledge yet.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And she would take it, I think, with a grain of salt. She believes him, but she's also he could die somewhere else, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's a conversation that moves their relationship forward, but it's still icy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I forget. So Heather knows that you're Caduceus. Have you told her about the interdimensional stuff?
Well, she has to know because I disappeared for a week before, and then...
Unless you're just a dick.
Yeah. That's the choice I'm gonna make for this character. I think Heather knows everything.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, just because, maybe they could have hidden it at one point if it had been the way that it just was, but that first time kind of left no room for debate. They were MIA for too long.
Okay. What are you up to? Oh, you didn't say.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What was it?
I'm
Rose, baby.
distracting myself
right.
with Rose.
Yeah.
Which I think is chat pointed out really well. You got a facelift as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah.
a face lift.
Oh boy.
My pectorals.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But I think that there would be a conversation between Hector and Kit.
Yeah.
Where he would reach out via cell phone, which is kind of weird since we all were in each other's minds for so long. Hey, Kit.
Hey.
Sorry about kind of being an asshole.
I I didn't read you as an asshole at all.
Yeah, I knew I was being testy when. Just, this is a lot.
Yeah.
And processing it, trying to get through it. Some of this is triggering stuff from my old life that I thought would be left behind.
Listen, I feel like you and I are in a similar position in some ways. In that, you know, you're a telepath who never entered the legal system. When people found out what kind of power I had, for a lot of years it was kind of just expected that I would go and do something with it. And I didn't for a really long time. I get what it's like to be put into situations you don't want to be in by circumstances. It really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Even if it gets better later,
Sometimes there's some pretty big valleys.
Yeah.
And, you know, I knew you were going through some shit while we were out there too, and I just want to say I'm proud of you. And
Thanks.
I wouldn't want to be with anybody else.
Listen, I get off my shift in like 3 hours. Do you want to go get a drink or something?
Sapna was saying something about the tacos.
No, fuck yeah, we can do tacos.
All right, sweet.
Do you want me to round up the crew?
Yeah.
Cool.
Click.
Let's see how Sapna's been doing.
They try to go back, or they go back to their apartment from like have the, beer and bagels, because that is definitely
Bread and bread.
yes. And then later like some fish that
Yeah.
Frank managed to get out of the lake. It's like didn't even know we had fish in there. Whatever. And then goes back to their apartment and tries to settle in, but realizes like it's muted, but like
Everything is talking.
everything is talking. Like goes to try to watch some television, blinks, and it's something else entirely. Blinks, and it's something else entirely. Goes
Blinks, and
to-
it's like a closed circuit CCTV. Like, uh-oh, change.
Oh.
Or not. Hang on a minute.
blinks and like goes up, and it's like, okay, well, I'll just hang out on the roof. And it's like, instead of, just listening to the nighttime soaps,
Mm-hmm.
aka
The
the people of Great Lake,
The people in your neighborhood.
it's like hearing like random like emails, like text to speech in their head, and
Yeah.
all this like, so it's like makes it probably a few hours that first night.
Can I, if this is too problematic, you can veto it. But you're mentioning that text to speech, and you're hearing the emails being spoken. What if they're spoken in Sing's voice?
I love it.
Okay. Because it's
Makes
different enough from your voice that it
Yeah.
would be distinctly not your voice. So, yeah.
And it's like looks down at the gloves, flexes their hands, and just pieces out back to the lodge.
Okay.
And it's this weird dichotomy of like they needed sound. They needed to have like those familiar buffeting, like the things that they always did.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have to go, and they go to the lodge, and like, and there's a little bit of it. It's like, did not need to know about multi-man's social plans. Nope, no thank you.
Yep.
No thank you. That dating
All of
profile
the
was
plans.
not, oh god.
So many plants.
But like manages to like focus down. But I would say, like, over the next day or so after that, it's like every once in a while, like, they'll be walking around and suddenly, like, they're not there for a second. Like, and then back to it. It's like, it's this constant focus.
Yeah.
So we were at, like, the most rested, most ideal. And, like, as the days go by, it's like really fucking tired. And
Yeah.
and every once in a while when they go to speak, they are saying something else.
Yeah. Does their voice ever come out wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A few
Like-
days into that, you also get the message that says, "We're getting tacos."
Yeah. Yeah, does Sapna show up for taco night?
Yes. But why don't y'all come up here?
Definitely.
You're at the lodge or your apartment?
Lodge.
Lodge, yeah, okay.
You know, Chef will do it. Like, Chef does amazing tacos.
Cool.
Oh yeah, and of course, Frank also gets the text.
And mine says, fuck ye to co's. Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. This was episode 18 of Pinnacles here on Happy Jacks RPG. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our chat mods, James V in particular, who let us get to do this live and later. So that's great. We like both. Our Patreons let us do this ad-free and independent. That is, like, I say that every week and it's sort of rote, but like, I cannot stress how important that is to not be beholden to any sort of like advertising campaign or whatever. Like, a lot of channels do what they got to do, and we get to do this without that, and I love it. Let's go this way again.
Hey, I'm Enge. I play Chainsaw Frank Sentinel. You can find me on the internet at johnenge, JONENGE.card with 2 R's .co. I think that's all I need to say, right?
Awesome.
Sure. My name's Eli. I've been playing Hector, El Vagabundo. Fuck my social media if you've been here.
If you haven't been here,
Chuck it twice.
Still.
To catch up for lost time.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. So just do something hard every day.
cool.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I've been playing Kit. I cannot stress enough how excited I am to say this. The currently most emotionally balanced member of the party! Yeah! We made it there, gamers! You can find me everywhere as Sarah is Coffee, except for Instagram, where you can find me as Sarah_is_coffee. I'm not doing a fucking thing, so don't look at me. Hello, I am Pooja, and I have been playing Sapna. And I'm so excited about both everything that happened today and what the future has in store. But speaking of the future, I am so pleased as fucking punch to announce that Mekong, the Southeast Asian Space Mech Opera, will be premiering on Queen's Court Games Twitch tomorrow night.
Ooh.
And you can then find it on the Queen's Court Games YouTube channel. Y'all, I cannot. This project has been like a year in the making, and I'm so proud of the work that we have all done to put into it. It looks amazing. Story's great. Everything just yes. And if you want to know more about it, you can follow me on my socials as Forgotten Saves. They put together some really fantastic promo images for each of our players, aka our pilots. Really fun stuff, really great art. Shout out to Clara Clearly Golden for that artwork. It's just like, oh yes. And yeah. Other than that, yeah, you can also follow me on my socials to see photos of my cats
Mm.
and me yell about books.
Woo!
The screen name Forgotten Saves always makes me think of the like coming back to a save game and realizing you forgot the controls and having to like redo the tutorial or just like plow through
Or
a
do
fight.
what I do and go, well, I guess I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah.
So I can say with confidence that is exactly the origin of my screen name.
Oh wow. Okay.
Amazing.
It always been. I've had that experience so many times.
Like-
it's very relatable.
I'm gonna get back to this game. What is happening? Where do my figures go?
Yeah, and I'm like
Deactivate the
far enough into the game where I don't want to just restart, but also the bosses are hard, and you should know how to play the game at this point.
How do I investigate? What? I don't even.
Yeah.
That's like me every 3.5 years with Skyrim.
My name's Jason. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Blue Sky at It's Probably Okay. I stream on my channel Wednesdays and Fridays at least. And on Wednesdays we wear death, and every other day I like to play games that are hard and you die a lot. Also, I'm a game designer. You can find that. All my stuff is at the card link in the show notes. We will be back next week at 2 p.m. right here. And 2 p.m. Pacific time on HappyJacksrpg. If you want to catch previous episodes, again, it is happyjacks.org/pinnacles, and it's just a cool 17 episodes to catch up on. You could get caught up in no time. So it's funny to think about how much content we have generated.
Seriously,
Yeah.
we've been going at it for months.
A lot.
Wait,
yeah.
that also.
Sure. We have literally been going at it for months.
I'm getting tired.
I just got busted back 15 years, so I'm good to go again.
Yep. That's it for us. So take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.